You got anybody in here?
Probably not. It's all right.
Says 3.
Welcome to the big Thanksgiving extravaganza.
Yeah.
John said he is thankful he blocked lag. That's the wrong attitude there, John. I've been unblocking people. I just honestly don't. It's not that important anymore.
Uh, yeah,
People,
welcome to the Black Friday Eve show.
right. Uh, I've got tremendous Black Friday plans. Uh, Lag's fun. I see lag across everything I'm in. At least he participates. So many people will sit and watch us and could contribute greatly to the shows and learnings and everything, but they, for whatever reason, don't comment or don't feel they're worthy of commenting, and they're so wrong. Everybody. Um, I talk about it a lot before we play Thanksgiving. I talk about it a lot. You need people in your life that are, are 5 or 6 people above you, below you, but they've also got to be willing participants. You know what I mean? They've got to.
Cha-ching.
All right, everybody hit the like button this morning. It'll guarantee a sale today. So, according to John, flipping ain't easy. Since he's not live today, they'll put all those for me. So, thank you, there, eBay fairy princesses. I thought this link in the chat if anybody wants to come tell us good morning in person and what you're thankful for. So, who we got here this morning besides we got the pair of Johns, John Carney. Good morning, Phil. What's up, man? Jacob King, Robert. Good morning. Flip it good. Vintage Memories. Good morning. I hope everyone. I hope this video finds you guys well. I hope you. It's the one time that we take a chance to slow down the year and really be thankful. And I don't know if people do that. Do people do that anymore? Do they decide what they're thankful for? You got 2 old guys here. Me and Big Turkey are old guys, and you start to see things a little different.
They started on.
Speaking of another old guy,
unretired.
I fired you yesterday. What the hell?
I unfired myself.
And you keep showing up.
I can leave.
Josh Scott, good morning, man. I started. I'm glad. Did you make it home late yesterday, Josh? I only got half. I started listening on the way to Walmart and on the way back, and I didn't see if you made it home. So I hope you did. That was crazy at the border yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Morning, Chastity, Tommy Boy, Moss Administrator, Mr. North Carolina himself, Dave Jarvis. Good morning, Larry M. Good morning. Morning from California. Man, you're up early, Larry. Don't leave today without, they open up around 7 p.m. night. To be thankful for businesses can come and go. 90% of small businesses fail. I hate to be the one to be the bearer of bad news, but 90% of small businesses fail. And you can start all the new businesses you want. When families disappear, they don't come back. You don't get to start new families. So actually, yesterday after the show, I got a message from my buddy across town he lives in a town south of here, and so most of you who's followed me a long time will know. Wrong one said. Do you still sell those?
Well, hell yeah.
My first question is, where you at? And he told me where he was, and I'm like, how much they want for it? He told me $15. I'm like, $15 is all right. I said, what conditions is it in? He goes, new. Looked it up real quick, and it sells for about 150 plus 50 shipping on eBay. It is a Black & Decker. I think it's an ODC 440. No, it's an ODC 450. I'm sorry. Anything's that's your gift today. Anything Black & Decker Space Maker, you take the time to look it up. So when I got there was also, I don't know if you know, but I've sold a couple of those. There was one of those there for $7. There was another Krupp's coffee maker that's worth $100. It was new for 10. I had to drive 45 minutes, but I'm like, you drive it for one item, but if there's one really good one, chances are with 5 thrift stores in a little bitty town, I could. It's a nice little trip. But I say that to say that I spent most of the trip on the way back talking to my mother. For those you don't know, my mother, she used to resell a lot. Now she just buys. So that's going to be a problem one day because she's a hoarder. But she was complaining about her printer. And she's had printer problems for as long as I can remember. And I'm like, Mother, don't go out and buy a printer on Black Friday. They're all pieces of crap. They're new models that are leftover parts. They'll never be seen again. I'm like, Santa Claus, when he gets home, will be packing you up a Brother laser printer to throw in the mail. Oh, but I don't want you to do that. You sell those. I'm like, do you want me to take the $3 price tag off before I put it in the box? I mean, I'm not going to go broke. I'm not going to. And she's like, so what's the difference? And a laser printer takes toner, costs like $12. It'll print 2,000 to 3,000 pages. She said, that you know how much ink that is? I'm like, yeah, understand that this printer is coming. Don't go buy another one. So I got a chance to talk to her for about 45 minutes on the way home, which is a lot of fun. So make sure that you're checking in with family that you're not going to see, friends. Not everybody is blessed on this time. A lot of people, this is a sad time. I told you guys yesterday, there was Tuesday morning, Johnny on her way to volunteer, and her link is if she's still taking donations year round to give to the cancer center. I told you there was a wreck on the mountain. Two men, one's 47 and one's in his 30s. 6-car pileup. They didn't walk away from that on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Well, heck, I was on the phone with you the other day, and right as we were talking, there's a wreck right in front of me. Now, I believe they all got out.
And that's actually 2 miles from where Dusty's house was, as a matter of fact. I drove by there the other day. That's another good point. Never in my wildest dreams did I think Dusty and Tristan would be gone, or Kevin, Tyree, from here. Just those have really affected my thinking greatly. So be thankful for the people in your lives.
Makes you think.
It does make it. And the older you get, you realize your time is limited, and you start figuring out what's important. At least I hope you do. Got some more people. Hey, good morning, Scott Garvin, Backyard Mowing, Vape Game. Hey, good morning.
Y'all, do y'all watch Jack Locker Nuts?
Yeah, he just had quadruple or triple bypass.
What is he? 45?
He can't be. I'm 54. He can't be.
He's definitely younger. Yeah, he's definitely younger than we are.
And just out of the blue, no family history of it, and they told him he's lucky. It could have just killed him dead. Triple blockages. I'm like, jeez.
So Backyard Mowing, I use Keepa. I'll answer reselling questions. I just wanted to give a place for people to talk, and it's a lot of us are. I'm waiting on Johnny to wake up. Someone who I'm very thankful for. She's been through. Just think about this. We've been together 35 years, married 32. She's had 17 surgeries. She has carpal tunnel in both arms, and cataracts in both eyes, and chronic kidney disease from chemo. She's got more coming. I'm just thankful she's one hell of a fighter, and she hangs in. But she's supposed to be making sausage balls when she wakes up, so yay. So Keepa, if you look at the RG, I wore a sweatshirt for you yesterday. I wore this one for you today. I hope that you have a wonderful Thursday and Friday there, RG, and I hope your Saturday is just as miserable as they come as you get smashed by what is the coming train that is the Crimson Tide. Thank you very much. Yes, John, I don't think people realize that. See, there was a time when John was, he's selling millions and millions of dollars on Amazon now. I was the bigger seller. John hang out with me, with Dusty, with a lot of us. And you hone your skills for reselling by talking things out and experimenting with the people that, you in a circle. So John and Dusty would have these long, drawn out, almost like battles where, one was set in one way, one was set the other because, and they were both right. That's the thing about it. What is your business? What is right for you might be wrong for somebody else, but their right could be wrong for you. You could both be right in the way you set up your small businesses based on your skill set and your goals and where you want to be. Both of those guys knew what they wanted and knew what their goals were. But even that, John learned a ton from Dusty's mad scientist trials and a lot of the stuff that he does. You really think, even though Dusty had left Amazon by then, you still, by bouncing things off someone who sees it completely different, would you rather have that conversation and have that with somebody else or have it in the marketplace where you're getting destroyed? It really changes your processes. It really makes you think things through. I don't think John would deny that. He said a little bit of it up top. His work was a byproduct of Phil says no way for this. So that's it. How many people are going out tonight or tomorrow? Dollar General's got theirs today. Walgreens has got a lot of stuff today. I am not.
I'm staying home. Well, tomorrow I'm working.
Unless Jody sends me to the store, which she sent me last night. So that's where I was listening to Josh Gott's show yesterday. I'll finish that up while I'm just planning on staying out here and doing some. I didn't get anything listed yesterday, so I feel terrible. So I got a list yesterday's and today's today. But I'm a homebody anyway, so I'm all right with that. I have no desire to. I used to get out there and mess with it and do whatever. But the problem is Amazon's changed, folks. So John will tell you, back in the day, we would go hit 15 and 16. We would go hit Walgreens. I would fill that trailer that's sitting beside this building up with their buy two, get two free. I would come back home on Friday evening and spend Saturday and Sunday boxing the stuff up to go to FBA. They would receive it and it would sell before Christmas. Right now, they won't hardly receive it anymore. There was times change, things change.
Phil.
So Julie is cooking and listening. Good morning there, Julie. Yeah, me and John, man, we've been to a few Walgreens buying the buy two get two free. Because and then a couple of years they did the Monday through Wednesday, whatever you bought, they gave you matching coupons or some craziness or some stuff, and I forget what they were, but hello and good night. Dave said they're receiving quickly right now. That will change though, Dave. What's the date they've given this year? Have they said what's the date to hit the warehouse for Christmas?
I don't know. Post offices have already put out, better get it shipped by this date for this location.
So Josh, I noticed I didn't want to take credit for it. I'm gonna finish with listening to you yesterday, but I could feel me in your head just stomping around yesterday during your show. So many people don't follow the right processes, man. It's what I take for granted that is good customer service and a best practice on what to do, and how to treat people, how to treat business, all these things. So many people have no clue, man. And that's why, and they don't hear it the first time you tell it. They don't hear it. You got to keep saying it about 30, 40, 50 times. And it's a good reminder for me because I don't always make the right decision, Okay, so I gave the example yesterday of the first time buyer with the camera who asked me, did it work? I mean, I'm not telling you I'm not human. I wasn't disappointed that sale was not going to go through. but it takes about 30 seconds to snap out of it and go do the right thing. You know, oh Lord, Bigfoot got a turkey. Oh my goodness. I like that.
I made that one about 13 years ago.
Have you seen? Has anybody seen the AI one of Joe pardoning the turkey, and he lets the turkey go, and the turkey tells him "F you, Joe Biden." It's Josh. It's 100% right. Just because it is sold for one thing, you know, you're overpricing your items. You're making a negative environment. You're treating people like hell. You're shipping terrible. It's all these things. It's because they've never had, Josh. It's 100% because they've never had a business. They've never been in charge. They've always been the one who said, and you know, you've got to do it this way. You know, their environment they've been in has been very structured, and when all of a sudden there's a lot of pressure, you know, you want to succeed, you want to do what others do, but you don't have the discipline's not there. You know, the learning is not there about being a business owner, and they can't look at their job, the stuff that they're most miserable about in their regular job. They can't look at their boss and go, well, there's a reason their boss has to set it up like this, because he has to provide the structure in the business in order to get the results that a business needs. And when you have to be the one that now provides this for yourself, it gets very difficult. So, because I don't think people are bad people. I don't think they really want to do a bad job. They just, you know, it's who they listen to. A lot of them, you know, just, it's not important. You know, when I ship something out, I mean, I show you all the tape machine. I'll make some more shipping videos at some point. Every box leaving out of here looks like, I will make some Franken boxes, but they are always with a box resizer. They're always look normal. What doesn't look normal, I fix with paper tape. You know, everything has a very professional look when it leaves this place. Even if I use an Amazon box, I will take my label off. I'll use a heat gun to take the label off. And then I will take my tape and cover up the Amazon tape. So all you see is, because that tape wears over time, and they use a thinner version of paper tape.
Mm-hmm.
So Phil says the Pilgrims tried to outlaw Black Friday, but Chuck Norris took care of that, killed the turkeys, and gave the ladies a day off. Nice. Julie is cooking turkey, honey ham, dressing, stuffing, cream corn, sweet mashed potato. You can keep the broccoli and cheese, peas, mac and cheese. Julie, don't you live in the South somewhere and we did not get an invitation? What the hell? So our plans if y'all didn't see yesterday, our Thanksgiving plans, we were actually going to the other Stephen Marshes. But they both have COVID. So we are not going to the other Stephen Marshes.
Here's the thing, guys. There was a time where we went out and we did all this hustling and we sold stuff for more than the value and all that. It was what you did after that makes a difference. I wanted out of that because, and I've always asked the same question: what's next? You have to continuously find another product. You have to. This is a business. These
Mm-hmm.
things that these companies put out, eBay puts out those, what are they, seller updates? Spring and fall and winter. Don't they have seller updates, Scott? What's it called? Seller updates?
Yeah, it's the spring and summer.
eBay ain't trying to screw with you as a seller.
They're trying to stay relevant. Yeah.
They're doing what's best for their business. And if you run your business as a business, you will see that as an opportunity to improve your business. People, the difference between a lot of people and a small business on these platforms is your mindset. You have to think of this as a business.
Yeah, I did a whole
You know,
video
you
on that.
can't let these little returns bother you. You can't ship in a cereal box. You can't. And I did all these things when I started.
How many pairs of jeans did you ship in flat rate and legal envelopes?
The padded flat rate envelopes, thousands.
People
Thousands. We had it.
people miss that, John. They see a finished product, John, or more close to a finished product. They don't know the John I knew who was shipping jeans out of a tractor trailer.
You know, this will be my first quarter that I've done $1 million in sales. It will also be my last quarter to do $1 million in sales because I own a $500,000 worth of inventory to make those sales this quarter. And I'm getting old. I'm cutting back. I'd rather have a life like Dusty had. The dude lived his life.
Yep.
He didn't work. He didn't work every day, every minute of every day. He enjoyed his life and made enough money to get by on. And that's what we need to be thankful for, is that we're able to do it.
Yeah, I'm very thankful I don't have to go get a job. Do I struggle? Absolutely. But
He's thankful for his next meal. Which is it, Bigfoot or turkey today?
It was a little bit hard to locate the Bigfoot meat, so I'll stick with turkey. Couldn't find it.
Speaking of the devil, look what's out of bed. Bigfoot.
Hey, Juan. Good morning. No, Josh, you're 100% right. I think that's very prevalent. I think a lot of resellers buy items that are lower, low price, and maybe they only make a few dollars on the sale, and so they don't put the effort into. They don't value every customer. They don't put solid understand, and they don't understand that repeated terrible efforts is never going to improve your situation. You're never gonna fix what's wrong, or because you don't place the value in there. You've got to have it. There's got to be as much value in finding the item as in making sure the customer gets the correct item they need at a good price that is good for the seller and the buyer. And it's all about how little I can buy it for and how little I can do to get it to somebody, because they assume that, and wrongly they assume that shipping it in a pizza box is cheaper, and it's actually more costly to you in the long run.
How much does a pizza box weigh? As opposed to another box, it's really not going to save you any money.
Yeah, I use mostly new boxes. So we do get a lot of Amazon boxes because Joni orders a lot of our stuff from Amazon. So I have Amazon boxes. Like I sold those motorcycle. If you were watching a couple weeks ago, I showed some motorcycles somewhere. So they were for a BMW motorcycle from the early 90s. They were hard side bags. These things were huge, and Amazon had sent our toilet paper in a box that was 26 by 20 by 22. And those two things just happened to fit right in there. And so I did use that box. So if it's an odd size box, I will, but it's still, all the labels are nice, and the paper tape's on it. It looks very clean, other than it has an Amazon logo.
I reused an Amazon box one time, or some box, and I had an eBay customer literally get upset with me. And the box looked great. There was nothing wrong with the box. I won't ship it out if it looks bad, But I put my label, their address, over another label with an old address on it, and they literally peeled that off and was mad that I reused the box. They wouldn't have known otherwise. It was, it was just a regular box, but.
No, Josh,
I couldn't believe they were mad. But
Josh is 100% right. The same people that are giving terrible effort are wondering why I get stuff in all the time. I'm like, God, this is terrible.
You're gonna lead a miserable life if everything you do is the minimum. If you're just doing the minimum to get by, your life is.
Yeah.
You might be making money, but is it really making you happy? Look at what these people post in some of these Facebook groups. They're not happy people.
And I don't understand. I've never understood. They'll tell you. People will ask, "Where do you get boxes?" And they'll say, "Man, I go here. I'm diving in dumpsters. I'm doing all this crazy shit." But if you ask those same person, would you want to receive anything in this box? They'll be the first one to tell you, "Oh no." They would prefer. They don't understand the time it costs, the effort, the gas. I mean, everything it costs them to go hunting for something. When I've already shipped everything for the day before you can get home with your oh my god, I got a free box.
Like I did try it when I had a W-2. I gave that company the minimal. The minimal they not always. Now towards the end of my W-2 career, I was a better employee, but I was miserable too because I didn't want to go to work.
That's that's one. So Veronica, that's the way I strive to impress buyers. Sales. It's not. That's the one thing I like about Poshmark. They've tried to implement some of that. They with priority labels, and so you can use the priority boxes. So at least the customer you can get a free clean box. They also on a rating system. If you ship something in a pizza box on Poshmark, you can get rated little to nothing based on the customer experience. So I think maybe eBay needs to figure out maybe information for a while.
There is a shipping rating when we get rated, but it's
more about speed of shipping.
It's more of an overall. I mean, it just goes into the overall rating.
Not to defend the practice, but I used to see videos like by Craigslist Hunter, and he would get boxes and styrofoam out of dumpsters.
I'm not opposed to it. I don't get it out of dumpsters, but I use a lot of used stuff. I mean, I try to use a new box when I have one that fits, but
man, it is, especially with all these influencers. Maybe in the description of this video, there's coupons for if you need bubble wrap, American Bubble Boy, they're a new one on the list. If you need boxes, there's Supply Huts down there with discounts. They're already the cheapest boxes online, and
I just ordered bubble wrap off your link yesterday.
Cool, thank you. And I've met Joel, the American Bubble Boy. What a nice guy! Really, really nice guy. Very, very helpful. Very, very. They sought me out because they told him I use paper tape because they've been trying to tell him he needs to carry paper tape because American Bubble Boy also carries a lot of tape, which I haven't tried it yet because I don't use. I've got half a case of tape over there. I use like one roll of 3-inch tape every. God, it must take me 2 or 3 months to go through a roll. So it'll be a while before I order any. But everybody else who uses it says it's outstanding. So I mean, there's no if with planning and understanding and see the problem is people don't reinvest in their business because they don't understand they're running a business, and so whenever that payout comes, which is every day, they don't set aside money to say, this is for business, this is for whatever. They just go to spending it, not understanding that it's not yours until you clear the 30-day return period. On Amazon, it's not. They can return it now through January 31st
of 2025,
which is not a bad thing, John.
No,
psychologically, people you have something longer, they're way less likely to return it because they've gotten used to using it. So
I want to say something about recycled boxes. I probably pay $200 a month to have my cardboard dumpster emptied because we put everything that goes to a customer in a new box. The only boxes we recycle is to Amazon, and we love to send them Walmart boxes.
I used to do it.
Oh yeah, I sent them every kind of box under the sun.
I used to do it. I used to do Walmart boxes all the time because they have that. Now, if you're Lowe's boxes are better, but the Walmart does have a double wall, I believe, box that I used a lot of. The single wall boxes, don't use them; they're garbage.
Robert, don't miss the point, Robert. I'm not against you reusing a box, and I
I do
know
it all
they're
the time.
environmentally, but there are things that people don't talk about. They'll use boxes that have got all kinds of labels on them, and so they get a box, they have no clue what it is other than it's got a postage label on it, which is very confusing. Um, they also every time you ship a box, it degrades the strength of that box. And so if you've got stuff that you don't need broken, I suggest you use new boxes. Look at the strength of your boxes. I would never reuse a postal priority box because they are so thin walled as it is. The second time through, that box is going to be pretty much like you're putting it in a poly mailer. Um,
And that's the thing about you're using a thin walled box, not the USPS box, but like a cereal box. I've just seen a post this morning. Somebody did it. They received a package in a brownie mix box. Anyway, you might as well just throw the damn thing in a poly mailer. It's the same thing. You're not getting any added protection from that. And the argument is, well, you received it okay, didn't you? Yeah, you received it okay, but damn, it looked like shit. You know,
it's
it's not
it's
a professional
we
thing to do.
discount the customer experience. You want to know why customers leave a platform? It doesn't take many brownie boxes for somebody to leave, and that's the problem for eBay. I think they lost their way. They really should be known as the flea market of the internet. You can find everything, but I don't think their issue is they don't want a flea market experience. They don't want you receiving stuff, in a cereal box or in a pizza box, whatever it is. That they still want the customer to have a professional experience like they see everyone else.
So I have a question. If you send something international shipping to like Great Britain, so it goes to the eBay recenter or whatever it is, does eBay repackage that,
Some items they do.
Sometimes,
or
yeah.
do they just put their label on it and send it on its way?
I think they judge based on what they find because it says they can be repackaged, and so the one thing that these that third party shipper that's sending it overseas is, remember, they're responsible for it getting there safely. So if you send something in a crazy, box, I think they rebox or redo that because it could cost them in the long run because they're responsible for if it breaks or not.
And the reason I ask is because just yesterday I had a British customer give me a neutral. Oh, it's here fine and it looks great, but I'm disappointed in the packaging it was sent in. So I just wondered if eBay repackages or if they just slap labels on or whatever.
A little bit
Maybe
of both, I'm sure of it.
those British people are just terrible.
They
I'm
had
kidding.
to pinky out when they're drinking the coffee, They're
It's
just
really
all,
the Canadians. I'm kidding. It's not the English. It's the Canadians.
Speaking of Canadians, oh my
That
God.
was for you. That was for you, Josh. Because Josh is Canadian, by the way.
So I live near Erie, Pennsylvania, correct? So Erie is the closest place to Ontario or place Toronto, whatever, to get tax-free clothing. And on Saturdays and Sundays, the bus fulls of people from Canada that come down here is just crazy. And we have I mean at Walmart all day, so I'm in there shopping sometimes, and lots of Canadians.
Yeah. Can we rant next on? It's 8:30 or 8:45 on the day before Thanksgiving at night. So Walmart's are going to close in 2 hours, and they are still running them damn blue carts all over the place. I'm like, would y'all get out of my way?
Oh my God, yesterday was crazy, man. I did 10 orders yesterday when I normally do 7 in a day, and the same amount of time. I could have just kept going and going. There was so much food or groceries
So
going.
it was worth you skipping the show
Yeah,
to
it was
go make money.
definitely worth it. I did
Very nice.
$209 yesterday, so which is not bad for an 8-hour shift.
Very nice. Uh, Yeah, but even last night, up until I was there about 8:45. There must have been 8 or 9 people who were pushing those blue carts for orders pickup. And sorry, I am that person. Walmart, you don't need 50 spots in the Hazel Green Walmart for pickup. There's never anybody in the outside lane, never, except for people like me who park over there because you look over there and there's nobody in the vehicles. I'm like, man, the hell with y'all. I mean, I park 8 or 9
Don't be
spots out.
parking in. Don't be parking in my spots, man.
I don't care. Just don't care. And now today, that everybody else do the same thing. They put another 60 or 70 marked temporary for Black Friday or some craziness. Man, please.
They just used our regular spots, but our spots, the Walmart that I work out of, in fact, all the Walmarts around here, except the one in Ashtabula, they have it's like on the side of the building where nobody would park anyway.
These are right in the front. So
yeah, like when I go to Morganton, North Carolina, for example, when I work out of there, they're right. No, those ones are on the side of a building too. But some Walmarts have them right in the front, right where regular parking is, and that I don't like those.
I'm gonna show you a.
But it was crazy. Walmart was crazy yesterday, and I hope it's crazy tomorrow too.
I don't want all these other pictures of Walmart. I want the Hazel Green, Alabama.
But they all have the temporary spots where they have the Black Friday pickups.
I would show you. I was trying to show you a picture of Hazel. So Hazel Green, Alabama Walmart is a regional training store for management, and so they have a big classroom like you would see at an elementary school out there in the parking lot. So not only have they taken a huge chunk of the parking lot for their training building, but now they've taken up another 40 or 50 or 60 spots for pickup, and now they've added another 20 or 30 for Black Friday. So you really have to park in Tennessee and walk to Walmart in order to actually get a parking place.
You know what's worse?
I think 8 miles.
From what I understand, and I don't know how confirmed this
6 miles,
is.
sorry.
But they want to make every Walmart a mini distribution center.
Yeah.
So they want to put like a warehouse portion of in every Walmart, so that when you order food for pickup or groceries for pickup, they don't have to have the blue carts anymore. They can just pick it up out of the so that takes up more spot, takes up more area if they actually do that. And I know they have some test Walmarts already done that way. And yours is probably the first one to go because it's a training center.
Larry, good morning. I see you in here. Tracy T Flips, hey, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving to you there, buddy. Hope Mississippi is treating you well this morning. For those of you who don't know, T Flips lives here in Huntsville. He hangs out with us on Tuesday nights, except for this week. He is visiting his family in Mississippi. Yeah, Ping G, they do. All the handicap spaces are all taken up, and it's very difficult. They've made Walmart parking lots dangerous with all these pickup spots and everything. The flow doesn't go right.
You want to know how dangerous Walmart parking lots are? 2 days ago, Marcia was picking up at a Walmart, and there was a lady walking through the crosswalk, just normal. And a truck comes from one of the parking spots and hits her and knocks her down. Her head hit the ground real hard. She was okay. I'm sure she went to the hospital after that, though, because she hit hard and her stuff went flying everywhere. So, yeah, you're supposed to slow down through there. People fly.
I had one yesterday. I stopped at the Goodwill when I was in that little town yesterday, and I'm in the crosswalk, and some guy this way stopped and this way didn't. And I just looked at him. He looked at me and gives me the little nod. I'm like, "What's the fucking nod, dude? You almost run me."
Here's the nod. I know. I've had it happen several. I was at our local mall one day picking up a DoorDash order, and this lady almost plows me down and 2 ladies, and so I flip her off, which I don't normally do. I'm not that kind of. And I let into this, and she's yelling at me like,
So
There's
I
no
have a
sign here. There's no sign that says you can walk there. I said it's a gut, and I said the GD word, which I don't like saying. It's a crosswalk. It's a GD crosswalk. And then she just kind of sheepishly goes, but she damn near ran us over.
Yeah. So hey, good morning, Peddling Profits. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. True. Hey, if you're traveling, remember this. They're expecting this to be one of the busiest travel holidays ever. 30 or 40 million people traveling. So not everybody pays attention. People get tired. People just be careful out there, folks.
Accident, California does not count as travel.
Kevin Webb, hey, that's nice to say. I can only tell you things, man. You still got to execute. You've still got to take the. That's the one thing is you can hear all the advice and everything you want, but the credit goes to you've got to execute and you've got to adapt to your. Because I can tell you what I do and whether it's right or wrong. Like I was talking earlier, it could be right or wrong for you. Doesn't necessarily right for me is not right for you, but a lot of these same principles are treating the customer right, making a good customer experience. There are lots of people who make the customer experience better than me. Look at some of the stuff Johnny buys on Poshmark. These ladies will, I'm assuming they're ladies. You'll open the box and it'll be wrapped in tissue paper. There'll be a nice note in it. The presentation is wonderful. I think that's the strength of a lot of Poshmark is their presentation on a product. I think a lot more you can learn a lot from looking at what others do and adapting some of those things to you. Yeah, Tracy. So I don't have a Thanksgiving plan, so I think I can be to your place in Mississippi in about 2.5, 3 hours. What do you think? Somebody, Josh said something the other day about riding with somebody or whatever. I'm like, dude, you have never gotten in the car with me. You will pray to your maker or whoever that is that you believe in, because you will see your life flash before your eyes several times going to yard sales.
It just isn't yard sales. It's up the side of mountains and
I'll never forget.
Desert.
So most of you guys know Glenn Swamp Picker down in Mississippi. We had the meetup in Tennessee a few years back. And so on Saturday morning, we were all going to yard sales. And we're in the parking lot Harlan and I are walking to my van. And Glenn goes, I'm just going to follow you to yard sales. And he thought for a second. He goes, well, do you have room in there? Because I don't think I can keep up. And so he ended up riding with us. And he still talks about that. He's like, yeah, that's a good decision. I never would have been able to keep up.
I was cool with your driving until we got on the side of that mountain. Like, not so much.
Oh my God. Yeah, I took that road pretty quick. We was that those you don't know, I think we were going up. It was at Black Bear. Is that where we're headed up toward?
Big Bear Lake or something?
Big Bear Lake, Black Bear Lake, something. It was from there was a Kmart up there and Walgreens, and it's the road is like no.
It's like when you see a movie with the road in California, it's on the side of a mountain, and I'm pretty sure that's where they film them.
Yeah, and all them hairpin turns. Yeah, I was like a Formula One driver through there. It was awesome.
Beautiful. It was beautiful scenery that I didn't get to see because I was closed my eyes most of the time.
Hey, at least you weren't gonna have any bowel movements because you had your butt cheeks clenched tight.
Tight. It was an experience, that's for sure.
You didn't need the elderly anal leakage.
No pads there, no butt pads needed there.
Mm-mm.
It was
cured.
Yes, Ping G, Uline has wonderful products. They have great and decent prices. The problem with Uline is they're shipping unless you order, like John by a pallet or whatever. Their shipping gets very expensive. So, but they
I'm sure that's by design too. They'd rather sell to bigger customers.
Because right there, you see that little black thing with the two things hanging down. that is actually a bubble wrap holder. That came from Uline. You see the little circle that's up top that says Uline, but that they have great products. Anything you can think of for your business, look at their big thick catalog that they'll send you. Man, I love. They make two or three sizes of that bubble wrap holder. That thing is. So if you ever wonder where I got the bubble wrap holder that hangs right now, and I use it for different stuff. So like, there's bubble wrap on one side, there's foam on right beside it on this, and then the other side. I've been running out the stuff that I make, the air pillows and stuff. And I've been running out a bunch of it, and I've been rolling it back up on a bubble wrap roller, and so it's like it dispenses air pillows. Brenda said the driving wouldn't bother her at all. Yeah. Everybody says that until the fear grips you. I don't drive nearly as bad as I used to, but I
don't mind driving with you.
John, I've mellowed out. When I was in college, I used to, anybody who was brave enough to get in the car, I used to try to scare the devil out of. That's why Johnny is pure and clean, because I scared the devil out of her.
I've ridden with John too. His driving is a little more pleasant, but I rode with John in Las Vegas to go.
You ain't riding the race cars with me.
No, I'm not doing it.
John in Vegas. I've ridden in Vegas with John driving my
with that
van.
little tiny. Well, I rode in his little tiny car. I was all scrunched up in there.
Jennifer Hayes, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. And the crazy car, I didn't mention you here. Good morning, man. Best picker on the planet there, Mike, the crazy car. That was one of the greatest ones too, because I was drunk because I couldn't drive. There was like 7 of us in the van. Harlan was way more drunk. Harlan was so drunk he was out of his mind, and I still remember.
And live on YouTube.
That was I can't believe I deleted those off my channel, where Harlan was for 30 minutes. I've got to pee. I got to pee. I've got like 3 minutes left. I'm gonna pee on somebody. But that was also the one, John, that wasn't on video, where if you've never been to Vegas, the way John came back to Vegas had one of these big 180 or 180 degree exit ramps or whatever. And Harlan's like, oh my God, because we find straight roads back to the hotel. Oh, that was a good one. Because that was the one.
Yard sale from the left lane to the side street.
Because that was the one we went and caught up with Jason T at the Tiki Bar, and Harlan went up and ordered a whiskey or whatever, and they're like, "This is a rum bar. This is a Tiki Bar. We don't have that." And so he said, "Give me what everybody else gets," and he got a zombie, which was like 5 different rums and stuff. He went from normal Harlan to drunk out of his mind Harlan. If I can find those pictures.
And then we took him to Fremont Street after he started drinking. After the Tiki Bar, went to Fremont Street, and he was getting drinks off the strip.
And that's where we caught up with Shane, or he was with us, and Shane's like, I just went over there and got this frozen drink, and then I had him put extra stuff in it, so I went over there and got one and had him put a double shot of Crown in it, and that was a mistake.
I think that whole week was a mistake for you guys. I wasn't there, but
that was a mistake.
I came after all the partying was done.
I'm trying to find it. I know it's in here somewhere.
Uline's actually cheap when you order. We order a quarter truck, between a quarter truck and a half a truck at a time. Uline can be very cheap for supplies. And by the way, I didn't know it, but we use 3-inch tape. We finally got to the point that we started switching over to 3-inch tape. We bought the supplies and ran out the 2-inch and are now using 3-inch.
If you're a new reseller, welcome to the crazy chat on the internet. Get rid of your 2-inch tape, even if you got to throw it away.
I actually reverted back. I reverted back to 2-inch tape because I can buy it at Walmart. And only reason is because I use paper tape for almost everything now. And so when I use 2-inch tape, it's just because I need to tape something down. It's almost never for sealing a package. But I can just buy 4 rolls at Walmart or something instead of a case.
Yeah, never. I grab 2-inch tape and I'm like, what in the hell?
But I don't use it for packaging. I use it for other things, you know. There's no point in me having 3-inch tape when I have a tape machine.
Jacob King was there. He said that was a fun week.
We had some good times, some good food too.
I am going to take a short break from this wonderful show that we're having and go get the turkey in the oven. So I will be back.
What?
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Harlan is lucky I cannot find a picture of him with the 2 chicks on Fremont
Oh,
Street.
that was the
I will leave the background up though, so that you guys can all.
I've got it somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I thought it was on my Google Photos, but yeah, I don't see him. The problem with switching phones is you have pictures everywhere.
So what are you doing tomorrow? Are you shopping?
I'll be right here.
No Black Friday shopping at all?
Nah. Hey, Tommy. Good morning. I'm assuming that's Tommy, the bargain effect. And Miss Sue. If you ever run out of 3-inch tape on the road, there's hardly any buying. There's very few stores that carry 3-inch tape. So Robert said he's tried the. Josh, man, a 2-inch tape, man, throw it away. You'll thank me. I could once you switch over from 2-inch to 3-inch tape, you'll be ready to nominate me as the king of Canada.
I honestly don't notice a difference.
All right, take that with a grain of salt, everyone. John, when's the last time you packed a box?
I'm thinking.
I heard Lori. Lori, that's awesome. Good morning, Lori. For those of y'all don't know, John and Lori are in their motorhome. So yeah, good luck. High D thing from Lori. That's awesome.
Those days are long gone.
Even when we were doing the Walgreens and stuff in 17, you still had that Mexican fella that did so much.
I had 4 people when I did the box truck for Walgreens that run Walgreens, and then Black Friday we switched to Family Dollar and Dollar General. When I did that year, I had 4 people at the warehouse waiting for me to bring the truck, and they would package the stuff. And UPS came with a trailer on Black Friday. We had a truckload, and then they came back Cyber Monday, and they would pick up with a empty truck. They came just to pick up everything going to Amazon. But back then it was different. You could ship out Cyber Monday, and the stuff would be there Friday.
The problem with the 2-inch tape is you got to use extra on it because it's not quite wide enough, especially if there's any kind of gap at all in a cardboard box. The 3-inch covers it and is so much stronger because of the. You don't think about it, but there's more of the square inches that it covers on a box, so the adhesion factor is much greater. So you use less of the 3-inch tape because it holds so much better because you got more. If you got the cut down the middle, you got more on each side. You've got 75% of 2-inch tape on each side of that instead of having to use 2 pieces and all that craziness. Hey, Josh, this is for you. This is you and John both. Y'all should do the eBay Power Hour on why we don't use paper tape. Yeah. Why are we ever elected to spend money on supplies? That's that's your new power hour for next week. So if you're not following Josh Cott, he does a live show Monday through Friday, most of the time, 12 noon Central Time. He and John Flippin' Ain't Easy are the eBay Power Hour. You can find that channel on YouTube. They are next Wednesday should be a pretty interesting show. The usual suspects, whether they're here or not, that won't make it interesting. So yesterday on the way home, I've got some friends who are resellers in town. Met them through the meetups on the Huntsville meetups. They sell Poshmark Live, and they sell on their own website. And she started a podcast, and great couple. And so I don't know if Collins will join us, but Leah will. So they'll be here to talk about their podcast and about a different method of sourcing and some interesting. So Wednesday should be very interesting.
I'll be busy. I got to pick up a walker for Lori's birthday party next week. She turns 60.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, I got about 10 grand into the party.
So Mike says the Samsung Galaxy A54 is on sale for $100 tomorrow at Walmart. You know, if you want to have a different phone to list on for eBay, that's a good one. Jackass Retro is lurking in the corner. I'm assuming lusting and lurking are the same thing. Hey, good morning.
I think he meant lusting. He's lusting after us.
Yes, that's big hairy man. That's it. Mike doesn't do iPhone. Man, it's amazing what these phones will do now. And I'm sure Samsung does it too, because they're with the AI and stuff and pictures. So yesterday I was going to that thrift store that I'd never been to that my buddy sent me the pictures from. I was like, what's the address? So he just took a picture of the business card and sent me the address. And I was about to tell, I was looking through the text, and I was about to tell Siri, call out the address. And I tapped on the business card, and I held it for a second over the address, and it pulls the address out of the picture and gives you like 4 options. One of those is get directions to this address from the picture of a business card. It's amazing what technology, what phones will do. And then it pulled up Apple Maps and took me turn by turn right to. I should have been using Waze though, because there was a sheriff's officer in the middle of the median, and I ran into traffic, so I was caught up, or I would have probably met him. Lursting is listing and lurking. Nice. Oh, Mike. But Sue, it was very cool. So it was very easy to, that's I'm sure Galaxy. I'll try it on my S21. But it's very. I don't care if you're an Android or an iPhone person. I just get the most out of it is what I would tell you. Understand that if you have PCs, Androids are great computers, but if you have MacBook computers or iPads, you're foolish not to have iPhone, because the environment and it all talks together and carries on.
Does anybody use AI in their business?
Other than, I know some people, John, will use Bard to get information to fill out listings and have Bard make listings, but not the way you've got it set up, where you can build an Amazon listing very quickly.
Yeah, but I use it for a lot more than that. You have to see it as a tool.
All right, so
that's something to be afraid of, and you actually have to learn how to work with it. It's almost like having a new computer that is in China. All the keys are in Chinese. You have to relearn how to use everything.
So we just got an offer.
Very powerful.
Are y'all gonna help me decide whether to take this offer or not?
Take it. It's Thanksgiving. Be generous. You cheap bastard.
I heard that. So I have this.
Not only did you hear it, you resemble it.
So I've got this guy here listed for $70. It's the barbershop Santa. I paid $4 for it at a yard sale. They want to give me $50 plus, and it'll be plus shipping.
Sold.
All right. So anybody else say sold?
What are the comps?
Doesn't matter.
I've had it for a while. I've had it for like.
Doesn't matter. You got a buyer. This is the perfect example, and I understand what you're saying with the comps. Here's the perfect example. You paid $4 for it, and you got somebody offering you $50. How much more product can you buy with the $50 that this man's going to give you from the $4 you spent? You're talking about opportunity cost, not just relative value of something. Now, if I was selling gold and silver, different story. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Sue, that's a great question. It will, without the card, it will not open the lens. You need a memory card. I'm almost positive it won't open the lens because it won't take a picture. I think it checked. And the answer, John, I 100% agree with it. It's sold. I'm going to take the offer.
Listen, it's not a diamond ring or a piece of silver or a piece of gold where you can take it somewhere and get the real value for it. You have somebody off, and Scott, I knew you would sell it. I mean, when you said $50 up for some 70, that makes sense. But for so many people, they're like, but the comps say they're selling for $60 to $70. Yeah, well, you got a man offering you $50. Take it.
But you're 100% right, John. And then those same people that will tell you what are the comps and maybe counter offer or do whatever are the same ones that will tell you my sales suck. I don't understand why.
I've been listening in and sold.
How many pairs of jeans? How many pairs of jeans did I sell at $9.95 that were worth $29.95 or $39.95? But over the long haul, how much more profit did I make?
Congratulations. You sold the Christmas Santa barbershop.
Well, that's especially true if you're going to reinvest the money in your business. But if you need the money for,
so let me go to Flip real quick and tell Flip to delist this damn thing.
If you're trying to fund a long-term savings account, it doesn't matter how long it takes to sell.
Oh, my headset died. For me, I probably would have taken the offer anyway, but I don't have to sell things like I did since I'm not a full-time reseller anymore. So I like to list them and let them ride. But still on an offer. What did you say? You paid $4 for that?
I paid $4 for it.
Yeah, gone.
And remember, you make money on the buy. And so at $4, I knew that. Remember, it's Christmas too. It's a Santa set. You know, if you don't start selling it in the next few weeks, when are you going to sell it?
Yeah, you have a limited opportunity this time of year to sell things like that. Although Christmas does sell year round, not all Christmas sells year round.
Why did this thing just error out and not delist it on?
But I get your point. I've got some Halloween decorations that I should have.
But you're in a little different situation too.
Yeah.
You do this for fun.
He does it for vacations and
Right. That's what. But it's not like he needs it for bread and butter or a roof over his head or any of that.
That's true, but I'm like Sue. I like the money.
But isn't a lot of yours is investments as well too, right?
Right. I'll buy some gold and silver and a little Bitcoin, a little this, a little that with it.
So if you would have bought that, take the Santa thing for example. Let's carry this out. If you would have bought that for 4 and sold it for 50, and then bought 2 silver dollars for 48, because I think silver is running what $24 a coin now. Uh, you now have 2 more pieces of silver in your investment, or you got a stupid plastic doll that when you're gone, your kids are going to have to figure out what the hell to do with it.
That's true.
Where the silver, they can walk to the pawn shop and cash it out at $21 a coin.
Yeah. But you see my side of it.
No, I fully. It's to each their own. It was just a perfect. It was
Yeah.
just a perfect scenario for people in the room.
And I've done a lot of that type of stuff too. Selling, especially if I've got 50 of an item. I'll say, sure, I'll take less. Because I've got 49 more to sell.
what are the comps? I pulled up research prices on. So it's listed on eBay for. There's a $55 one sold. There's a 50 plus 16 or $65 ship sold. So $50 plus the shipping is probably somebody put one up for auction like an idiot and sold it for 14, got one bid plus 8 shipping. Yeah, so 50 is probably the right range. I don't know why it was 7. How did it get to be $70 on Poshmark? That's kind of strange.
Flippin' Good asked me a question. He said, "What was your buy cost on jeans, and how much shipping did you add?" I had a source where every Sunday we could buy jeans for 50 cents a pair. My wife and I would start at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and we get done about 8 o'clock at night. We would go through every single pair of jeans there and buy the good ones. And I listed them for $9.95 plus $6.95 shipping and handling. Now we got to remember when I did that, a padded flat rate envelope, and if you roll jeans up really tight, up to about a 52, you can get in a padded flat rate envelope. I paid $5.95 for padded flat rate. I charged the customer $6.95 because at that time Amazon was starting to take the 12% or whatever it was of the shipping. They would take fees on shipping. So I made a little bit on shipping, and I made whatever it was on profit after the fees. I forget what it was. It was like I got like $7 for them.
So Nick Picker, how do you like Flip? I taught my wife how to use it, so she used it, and she's been cross-listing for us. And it seems fine. It doesn't seem too bad. It doesn't seem glitchy. I use it because it's free and I'm cheap, and I don't think I have enough to cross-list to pay $60 a month.
Why are you showing us eggs? I'm hungry.
No, those are sockets. I think he just sold those
Well,
sockets.
I got eggs here too.
Actually made a sale during the show too. Let's see if I can find it.
$50 for a few Snap-on pieces.
I'm telling you right now, Steve made a sale. Chastity just got an offer. So if you hit the like button in the next 24 hours, you're going to get a sale on one of your platforms.
I don't know if you can
It's
even see it.
guaranteed to work.
Oh, it is.
If it doesn't work, Richard, Ford Pinto Flips just showed up. He'll give you a refund.
It's Orton Drop.
No, it's I can't do that. I have to read it backwards because my mind.
I don't know what it is.
Anybody wants to? RG just made 2 sales. It works, folks. I'm telling you right now. Anybody wants to come visit us? There's the link.
Oh, this FaceTime camera sucks. These are cards from a board game, so they're board game pieces. It's a Star Wars Duels game.
I need a new camera. Sorry.
$10 wasn't a great sale, but it was something. I've made a lot of money off that particular board game because it's a Star Wars game.
So Nick Picker, Anissa here has Tamara Lynn. Does she still call herself Yellow Brick Road Reselling, or is she just straight Tamara? Either one. She comes in here every now and then. She's a wonderful lady, very smart with reselling. So she's very good at explaining things. So check out her video on Flip.
What is Flip?
It's a free cross-listing platform.
That Vico is the one that to get up on.
Yeah, I've been using it, John, trying to get used to it. The interesting thing about Vico is the ability to put locations for your Amazon inventory. Their inventory functions makes them different because it adds an inventory function to your. Yellow Brick Road Reselling.
I don't know what she goes by now. She's probably out trying to get ducked.
Okay, looks like she changed it to just be Tamara Lynn.
She's probably out trying to get ducked. She's big into Jeeping.
Yes, her.
I don't get that duck thing with Jeeps.
They definitely
I understand it,
but there's the video right there. I see you found it, but there we go.
Yeah, I'll watch it later.
So yeah, John, I've been toying with that. The only negative I found is if you need to use a UPS for a it's more expensive if I need to do a single item. Like yesterday I shipped a printer to my mother, so that was personal. So I didn't get to use the discounts for eBay or Amazon, where StreamYard for pure shipping is much cheaper. Not StreamYard, but for Pirate Ship was much cheaper. Yeah, it was much cheaper.
My problem is it's a big transformation for me because I run everything on ShipStation. It's like the 2-inch tape. I mean, everybody thinks it's great to be this size, to have this kind of business, and you don't realize that. I said this in the beginning. I said, what the advantage, and I don't know if you remember this when we did the other morning show, the advantage to being a small seller is you're able to pivot in a minute.
Right.
During COVID, you went out and found masks. I was dead in the water.
Did I sell masks?
I didn't even sell one.
Oh my God! Did I sell masks?
But I was sitting dead in the water. My inventory, I have my time was spent on inventory stuck at Amazon because they deemed it non-essential.
Folks, don't miss what John said. Being a small seller or someone who is, very, very fluid, it's not a bad thing. Understand what the strengths are. Play to your strengths. Everybody goes, oh, but I can't do what John does because John can buy in bulk because he's so big, he gets discount. But listen, you've got other advantages over the big seller where you can change things, you can take advantage of short-term trend. You can do a lot of things they can't do. And, one thing I would tell you is if you want to sell a lot of stuff, open a TikTok account. But Beard, I hate TikTok. The Chinese are they know anyway. Y'all get over that. They spy on you every second. Google knows everything you do. Google can probably tell you when you pass gas. I don't want TikTok because China's listening. Alexa, turn on the music. And Alexa's listening to everything you do. Get over it. But the one thing about TikTok is all these trends that go on TikTok. Search on eBay right now. If you don't believe me, this is a great exercise. go to eBay and search on TikTok. You will see as seen on TikTok in a lot of descriptions. Like it'll blow your mind how much stuff sells and the amount of money they're getting for items. And these items are very quick. As it trends real fast. Everybody goes and buys it all. So you gotta stay up on it. Public service announcement. If you go to Dollar General, they have 15 packs of Natural Light on sale for $7.95.
Oh,
If you
shit.
live in a
You need to
state
tell
that
them.
has alcohol at Dollar General, ours don't.
Dollar General has 15 packs of Natural Light on sale for $7.95.
Yeah, $7.95. My brother said,
I have a friend with dementia that drinks about a 15 pack a day.
"Yeah, I
You
get
may
this
wanna
picture from my
text
brother.
them.
I did get this picture from my brother yesterday.
Thank you.
I'm like, I'm
It's
out
on
of beer.
sale.
I'm
Dollar
a grab.
General.
I think mine in North Alabama might have been $8.95, but that's still a couple of dollars off." So, Steve, let me understand this. I can go to Walgreens and buy hard liquor, but I can't buy beer at a Dollar General.
Not in the state of Ohio or Pennsylvania, you can't. Well,
In Ohio,
Pennsylvania may have changed the rules.
you can buy liquor in drugstores in Ohio, but you can't buy beer.
I don't think you can buy liquor in drugstores in Ohio. You can
Are
buy
you
them in
sure?
grocery stores on hard liquor. You can't buy on Sunday. I don't know. I don't buy liquor at all.
Yeah,
So
I saw it at Walgreens. That's why I was fascinated. I know you can do it in Kentucky. It doesn't carry over to Ohio.
Let me look. I'll Google it.
Now, I want to have a little. I want to go back to September, I think it was, when I went to Philly. Was it September?
Yes.
I went to Philly and I made a deal. I put a very large deal together between some large companies. And this is for the small sellers looking to go big or looking to have a retirement plan of some sort. What I got out of that deal was I got a royalty, because in that deal, I put that they're going to have to use one of my products under my brand to sell any of the product in the deal. I'm going to get paid for the rest of my life, and I can will it to my grandchildren every time a sale is made on that product. What am I talking about here? Is instead of trying to hustle the next mask, start hustling for yourself and building a brand, a small brand. You don't need a big brand, just something small that when you're ready to get out of this, you're able to sell it off. And you can do it with almost any product that you can find. Dollar Tree will be happy to let you rebrand everything they sell. They don't care. They expect you to resell it. They are a retail wholesaler. They even advertise it on their website as such. And it's my business is great and all that, but in honesty, at the end of the day, what's going to be more valuable is the brand name that I came up with by taking 5 Scrabble letters out of a bag.
Yeah, and
So it looks like
I found somebody reselling your stuff on eBay. But that's how you know you made it, when they're selling your stuff on eBay.
so. It looks like you can buy beer at Walgreens in Ohio, but not hard liquor.
Okay, so it was Kentucky then. So I know in Kentucky you can buy liquor in Kentucky.
In
That's
Pennsylvania,
because
it's all state stores.
That's because of their laws, Scott.
Yeah, they make all that whiskey in Kentucky, so I'm sure they make it easier to buy it.
In Pennsylvania, they have state stores, what they call them, but they're just, state-run alcohol stores. But certain Wegmans, I think you can buy some alcohol. Certain Wegmans stores, but most stores don't have it. But I never go down that aisle, so I have no idea.
So Wednesday we'll with the local people here coming on, the ladies. I don't think you'll get to meet Collins, but his wife and her partner, they will tell you, how they've got completely different. Went from scaled up from buying stuff like we do to buying, they're like, we got a load coming in 10 days. I'm like, buy a load. This was yesterday. Buy a load. You mean 26 pallets on the truck? He goes, yeah, 26 pallets. And they are using live auctions and selling lots and doing things completely different than what you would think. So it'd be a good time if you're a clothing seller, and I'll introduce you to people who sell huge lots of clothing where you can pick up clothing at a very new clothing at a very reasonable amount that's reseller friendly. And if you have no interest in that whatsoever, I would challenge you to tune in to see a different business model. It's really got me thinking. Just I've seen it 2 or 3 times now, and it challenges what I do and what I need to do.
Well, I've challenged you. You finally got a freaking teenager, even though he's 24.
No, he's 25.
Oh,
I'm Matt Snapper. I appreciate that. It's not for everybody. You got to love reselling because it's not easy. There's so much. I mean, things that we talk about even on the Thanksgiving show. Doing the right thing. For a lot of people, doing the right thing is not easy. Doing what it takes integrity. That's the one thing. To do the right thing when nobody's looking. Do you have integrity in your business? Do you have integrity as a seller? And when I see people that do all this crazy and take shortcuts and treat people terrible and all this stuff, and then have the nerve to get on social media and tell you they did it, it causes me to think, if they will tell you that in public, what did they do in private? How miserable of a person is this in private? Exactly. Be careful who you associate with, who you listen to.
So I delivered groceries. I call her the cottage cheese lady because she orders a lot of cottage cheese. But anyway, every time I deliver to her, I take them up the stairs and set them on her counter. But other drivers won't do it. They won't go into her house. It's 3 steps into the house. Take that extra step. She said, man, I appreciate you for doing that. She's older. She can't bend down. So I put them on the counter for it. Just take that extra step, no matter what you're doing, reselling, anything. Just do it.
At the end of the day, I have to live with my own voices in my own head, and
that's right.
And I don't want to be treated wrong. I don't want to think things that have happened negative in my life. I don't appreciate that, and so, I'm 100% a believer that you get what you give. And it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but I promise you, doing the right thing. There's so many people out there to believe the same way. They just don't go to social media. They just go about their lives and live the right way. And they're everywhere. I was talking last night on TikTok. I was live with the king of eBay is his name on TikTok, and he's got a YouTube channel. He's trying to break into YouTube, but he's like, what do you think of when you think of people from Boston? I'm like, I think of everybody being just like your Senator Warren. He started laughing. And so we were having this conversation. He goes, you realize that in every dark blue Democratic state, 35 to 38% are Republicans red. He said there's no area that is just strictly one or the other. There's people of all walks of life everywhere, and they're all just trying to get
not
by.
here.
You'd be shocked, John. There are red and blue. There are people that think they just don't have a voice or don't tell you. They're and then it's because
we got a couple here. We know who they are.
But we're older, John. I honestly don't care
I don't either.
If you believe red, you believe blue. I've learned over the last couple of years after going deep into the red that at the end of the day, it doesn't do anything for my sales. It doesn't do anything for my life. You really
say that again.
You control what you can control. I can't. That's why these people that spend so much time being mad at eBay for making changes. That's why they are losing. Why are they losing?
Think about it. When you were that deep, weren't you in a rut?
I was mad all the time. That's
what I'm saying. You were in a rut. These people that get mad at eBay is the same thing. They're in a rut. They can't get out of it.
And because the one thing I can tell you, especially with these selling platforms, is all of them change daily. They change
No
And
shit.
if you don't adapt, you will be Woolworths. When's the last time anybody went to Woolworths? I haven't seen one since I was a kid, and I'm old. Well,
I used to love the lunch counter at Woolworths. Man, that was so good.
or same thing. A lot of people, Joni and her mom used to would shop at Kmart and get something to eat at the Kmart because Kmart, a lot of them had the little.
Did you know at one time Kmart had their own standalone restaurants? In fact, now the Kmart's are all defunct, but there's still one standing in where I live. It's out in front. It's a bank now, but it was a Kmart restaurant. They were so huge that they had their own restaurants at one time. But inside, you could get a hot dog. You know, when in the 70s and 80s, you could get a hot dog in there. Man, that was something else for a kid. Just go sit there and eat a hot dog.
I mean, are you going to visit if you don't really look around and the businesses that die? What's the number one thing they have in common? They didn't adapt. They didn't see what's coming. They didn't take advantage of opportunity. And so I can tell you, eBay is changing. They're changing their search. Whether I decide it's broken or not, or do I listen to what they're saying about how the search is working and what it's looking for in order to put your items in front of other people, and I adapt to make it work for me. I mean,
and you have to understand that eBay's in a catch-22 situation, just like Amazon's in a catch-22 situation, because they're putting this stuff out without thoroughly testing it. But eBay doesn't want to be behind what Amazon's putting out. Amazon doesn't want to be behind what eBay's putting out for search. So this search and all this AI technology is going to be evolving for the rest of my life. This isn't something that's going to be, their search is not going to be the same today as it will be in January.
Correct.
Does that affect our business? Yes.
And so many people's answer to it is, the eBay. I've heard it for as long as I've been reselling. eBay or Amazon, they both hate the small seller. They're doing everything they can to make it difficult on the small seller. There could be nothing farther from the truth. The small seller, never been in a business owner before, is not adapting to change, and is not taking advantage of their strengths, and is sitting around bitching.
Let's talk about eBay's. Let's talk about something from our past. Okay. And the biggest change that eBay made, and everybody said it was an attack on the small seller. And in reality, once we wrapped our head around it, we said it was a good thing. And you said it earlier when I said something about it, because I was joking that eBay went to 60-day return policies. Remember when they went from 14 days to 30 days? And it was going to kill everybody's business, because now customers were going to be able to use the product and return it after they used it for a month.
Yeah, people don't understand. Why does Amazon extend the return policy to January 31st? It's because it's a gift. It takes the 30 days from the end of when people get it from the end of December to January, so they can exchange a gift. It's not to screw you. I understand that the longer somebody holds something, the more comfortable they get with it. It doesn't come back as much.
I can tell you that the people up in eBay's and Amazon's boardroom haven't sat down, and the conversation has never been, well, how can we screw the small seller today? It's not how they think. They're doing it for their bottom line more than anything else.
Phoebe came out here to tell you.
Up in the morning for is your bottom line. Everything you do throughout the day is to improve your bottom line.
Absolutely.
They do exactly the same thing for their companies.
We're not out there saying, how can we screw our customer?
Hey, Phoebe came out here to tell y'all she still doesn't like you. She doesn't give a crap whether y'all have a happy Thanksgiving or not, because.
Are you going to stuff that and cook it?
What'd you say? Fuck you, John. What? Is that what you said?
Boy, she's looking old.
You talking about? She's 3 years old.
Oh, is that the new one? Look at the hair on it. It looks like it's old.
No, she's got because she's half wire hair, half long hair. She's got this.
Oh,
She's got this white spot on the top of her head. It runs all the length of her back. That's the only long hair she's got on it.
how many you got? 4 of them?
3.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't bark at the dogs next door. She's got Franklin barking at the dogs next door. Franklin never barks. Franklin just wanders over there, looks to the fence. If he sees it, he barks twice and he quits. Yeah. There was somebody in the neighborhood Facebook group complaining about they called animal control or whoever on them, and they left a note on their thing about controlling their animals and barking if they had to come back. And
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
on and on. They were leaving the Facebook mad as hell. I'm like, I'm glad so there's one beside me and one across the street to have dogs that bark and carry on so that Phoebe doesn't get anybody in trouble.
I'm lucky. Our neighborhood, we have some dogs, but none of them are really loud. My cats, aren't loud.
If there's one book I can recommend, and this is my gift to everybody this year. If there's one book I can recommend you read, it's Half Retired. It will change the way you think about all of this. It's not as it has to do with the title of working less, but it also talks about how to accomplish more by doing less. I've read it 3 times in the last 2 months.
I have a book to recommend too. It's called The Art and Science of Dumpster Diving. It's a really good read.
Hey, Harlan, are you listening this morning? I know you were going over to Marissa's, but somebody sent me the pictures. That's how drunk Harlan was.
There it is. We ought to send that to what's her name?
I don't think his eyes were open.
That was so funny that night. Holy cow! And Lori had a couple of drinks in her too.
He was being patriotic right there.
I know, he's being a good American right there.
Oh yeah, we got that. That was live on YouTube as well. Harlan's in the chat.
He just joined.
You got to show it again so you can see it.
He lived it.
What
so
the
who
hell?
wrote that?
Do you think he remembered?
John, who wrote that book? Is it the one that's called Half Retired by Jim? Somebody. Oh, damn it, John.
He's got that wonderful RV internet going on today.
The camera, sorry. It's the camera, sorry.
Is it Half Retired by Jim? Somebody?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
It says Half Retired. Keep your business, ditch the stress.
Yes.
What do we got? What do we sell?
It's this right here, John. A picture of a guy holding a surfboard in a business suit.
I had a bunch of those once.
That's it.
There you go.
That's real. Listen, it's not going to change your business. It's not going to do anything. All it's going to do is make you think about things other than today.
It looks like you can only buy it on CD or listen with a membership.
I got it on Kindle.
So, how do you sell 10,000 earplugs? I sell them 50 at a time.
Very nice.
How many listings do you have for that?
1.
See, this is. Can I use this as an example?
$11 for 50 of them.
Can I use that as an example?
Sure.
Yeah, he's not. You're not. I know what John's about to tell you, and he's 100% right. You are not doing yourself justice there. You should.
And Dusty, it took Dusty a while to understand what I was saying with this. Remember the placemats he had? He finally listed them in a 4-pack, a 6-pack, an 8-pack, a 10-pack, a 20-pack, and he started selling a lot more. You need to, if I were you and I had 10,000 of those, I would expand that listing. I would have a 25-pack, a 50-pack, a 100-pack. And if you really want to move them, I'd put a 1,000-pack out there as a wholesale deal. I let somebody else buy 1,000 at a time and break them down to resell them. That's how I got started. I used to buy cell phone boosters. 1,000 of them.
Things.
1,000 of them, and I would break them down and sell an individual one, a 3-pack, a 5-pack, a 10-pack, and I made a ton of money in it.
Is that those cell phone boosters? Are those stickers you put on the back of your phone? It's supposed to.
Yeah, to boost the antenna.
See, that's
I'm sure
that's the value, folks. Is that's why I tell you, you need people that are larger than you, you're and small, because you need that person who is like John, who has been through and has developed processes to move bigger stuff. You know, to look at that. You know, I could, but even me at hanging out with him, I would have told him the same thing. Is people, if you see things differently and take advantage of the fact that let another set of so many people go, oh my God, I never would have showed anybody what I sell. I don't want them to see my store. They might know that I've got 10,000 of these things. I'm never going to get rid of them. Or maybe they might tell you, hey, do this to spur even more sales. You'll get rid of them in a hurry and make you money.
So it's not good enough that I have multiple quantity discounts on it.
Yeah, but I mean, you can make other listings, and then all of a sudden, when they're searching, change your title up, use different keywords. You can actually break it up and have these listings show up and compete against each other.
Okay.
You can still have your multi quantity discounts too.
Oh yeah,
each listing.
Okay.
And
So
Todd, listen, it may be not worth it to you because there was items that Dusty put up. He had 10 of them, and that's all he had. He would sell them in 10 packs, and that was it. And that's the way he sold them because he didn't want to take the time to break up all these listings. All I'm pointing out is if you needed to move them faster, you need to think, how do I move large volume?
So there's a list. William Sutter has put up some books that he has read. I would tell you to, and I do a terrible job. One of my goals for next year is a book a month. I'm gonna start. Maybe I'll just go ahead and start in December. I want to do that this year, and I got lost in everything. And
you know what? I would read a book a month with you, and have a show to discuss the book.
Reseller book club.
So is that something? We've got 93 people here on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving! Don't miss the fact that I appreciate you guys being here. That this crazy old man in Alabama can turn a computer on. You guys are here. Is that something you'd be interested in if we pick a book out every month and then everybody reads the same book? Is that?
Do you have to know how to read?
No, you don't have to know how to read.
Audio. My brother uses audio. He hates to read.
We'll do color. Maybe we'll do a color book one month. Everybody, how many people stay within the lines?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Because I don't think that this is an idea that nobody does. There's nobody. See, to me, why do I do Wednesdays? Is I'm not good with the new people because new people kind of get offended because I tell them like it is. But the seasoned reseller who is looking for advice, and most people don't talk about him. They don't talk about business. They don't talk about developing their, and so that voice is, Josh is just now figuring that out. He's probably not with us anymore, but there's so many, and it's I listen to Josh a lot. Don't get me wrong. I like Josh Gall. He does a wonderful, but he is figuring out that there's a lot of angry people that go through his chat and kind of derail what he talks about and control the topic. And so he will learn as he continues that you've got to get to the business point of this thing. But there's nobody.
I used to get derailed. That's why I don't do YouTube.
All right, so in the next couple of days we'll do one. We'll do a book for January. Everybody,
I kind of like that idea.
And then we'll talk about it in January. We need to come up with suggestions for a book.
I
and
got
then
the
whatever.
perfect book.
Why don't we
Okay,
just do the one
that
that
one
John just read?
No, there's no. You can't get a hard copy. A lot of people want a hard
No,
copy.
no,
So
no. Profit first.
that was also somebody else said that it changed their. Who was that up there? I called it. Was it somebody, whoever said profit first? Say it again. Somebody else said the same thing. It changed their once they
Trina.
read Trina. Yeah, Trina. That's it. Trina. Uh, Trina lives. I think Trina lives in Alabama. She's smart.
Profit
Okay.
First would be a great book for January because it's the start of the new year with the finances and
Okay, so I'm gonna start making a list. So Tracy suggests Atomic Habits. I've heard that one before too. Let me make a
Atomic
note.
Habits is a great book.
Yeah, see, all right. So Profit First is gonna be.
For the audiobook version on my iPhone, which app would I use? The music app?
Well,
There is an e-commerce version. I have not read it.
Oh, it would be the
It is,
podcast app, maybe.
It's a reseller that took the original course, the original book, and rewrote it with the author for e-commerce.
So Jackass says that you pay for your education through mistakes. 100% agree. You can also get a free education by learning from others. You can. That's 100. Follow channels open to share their flubs. Don't confuse negativity for reality. You know, I'm one who will tell you if I screw up or if I've done something wrong or whatever, because I think that is valuable information. That if I've made a mistake, don't make it.
I'm freaking perfect, so y'all suck.
So, so Veronica says she will read it if it has pictures nice.
In all seriousness, I joke that I'm perfect. I'm far from perfect. I currently have $90,000 in mistake purchases that I'm trying to sell off.
So any other suggestions so far? We're going to start with Profit First. So that's the read it for December. We'll talk about it in January.
I can give you a whole list. One thing, EOS.
I've got Atomic. I'm gonna put Half Retired on there.
Lenny says that Half Retired is free on Audible, and he just downloaded it.
Audible. Okay, that's what I got to download.
That's Amazon's.
I have Amazon Prime.
I've got Half Retired on there. I'll make a list and then I'll put it in the community tab. So if you start looking for these books, because the one thing I tell you is books take a long.
Blows up over this.
Books take some time to get if you're going to get a physical copy because most of the shippers, especially if you get the cheaper versions, are, it takes 14 days or whatever. So I'll make a list and you can start collecting these things.
Okay. What was the name of the book again?
Half Retired. All right. It's not.
No. The one we're doing in December.
Profit First.
Profit First. That's right. Okay.
January. We're starting January.
Yeah. So I got
to come up with a good time to do the show, the discussion, because some of us work in the mornings.
I don't know that Wednesday morning is the proper time to do a book show.
I think it's more of an evening thing.
We'll figure out something, but if for anybody who wants to do it, a message. So
Trina,
Jacob, my buddy Jacob says that you need to read. He thinks a crucial book in his opinion is Rich Dad Poor Dad. So we'll throw Rich Dad Poor Dad on there. Any books that you folks throw them in the chat.
One thing.
What's that?
One thing in Clockwork, but they need to be later in the year.
Oh, it's not free on Audible.
Okay, so
Trina's saying it is free.
They want me to buy it for $18. Or try premium. Maybe it just says sample now for me.
I loved it. That was a great book. I don't know when that's not a January book, Scott. That's a higher level book.
All right, so I've got it farther down the list. Is it one thing? Are they separate books? One thing, or is one thing Clockwork one book?
One thing is one book. Clockwork is another book.
All right, so you're saying do those maybe?
Clockwork should be one thing, and Clockwork can be early. The half retired should be late. Clockwork is basically telling you systems and processes and what they mean in your business and how they relate to you. And one thing is about focusing on one thing that will make everything else either less important or obsolete.
Okay, so I've put that we'll do half retired in August. That'd be like that'd be 8 books in. So
it's a great book. We got Atomic Habits.
Yeah, Better Barbie. Thanks for Atomic Habits. That'll be read in January. Talk about in February. What's the one that you have me buy that I've already got here that I never got around to?
Dude, I read so much. I read every day. He's saying Trina's saying Clockwork was written by Profit First guy. I've read over 200 business books on it.
All right, sorry.
I'm not scared to spend money on a book to read when it comes to business.
All right. I could get the Britney Spears book.
Profit First, the reason I think Profit First is so important in January is because it's how you should set up your books. And January is when everybody talks about it.
I want the Taylor Swift business book. Isn't she a billionaire?
Right.
So I just Googled it, and the best books on overall entrepreneurship they listed were The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz, The $100 Startup by Chris, whatever his name is, and then The E-Myth Revisited, Michael Gerber. They also, for beginners, they suggested Vaynerchuk, Crush It, The Art of the Start by Kowalski.
A lot of those books are about self-motivation, getting started.
Cha-ching.
See, I'm seeing that Profit First is $5.95 if I have an Audible membership, which I do not. So I'm gonna have to find another place to listen to it. I ain't paying $15.95 a month. Sorry, I'm cheap.
Yeah,
I wonder if I can get it from the library.
By the way, I hate Profit First. I believe in the concepts. I don't agree with all the different principles, but yeah, I have to understand that I have a CFO. I have somebody that manages my money for me. So I have one checking account and he has 6 ledgers for it.
Yeah, the one thing I can tell you is if you want to change 2024, I can tell you that the platforms are going to change, the business environment is going to change. It's going to get a little crazy, I think, as we move towards an election, which is going to be pitting everybody against each other. And you've got to, I think this will be a good. If you got a couple extra minutes in the day, read something that benefits you as an entrepreneur versus being sucked in by the craziness, the distractions. So if you want to, you've got to change how you act and who you are if you want to change 2024 from 2023. So, all right, Jacob.
Did you know that if you spend 18 minutes a day,
Gonzo capitalism. All right, we'll add it to the list.
For a year, you will be better than 95% of the people at that task. 18 minutes a day. So if you work on improving your business for just 18 minutes a day, you're going to be better than 95% of the people that you're competing against.
All right, Trina. So when we talk about that, you can be you have to turn it. You don't have to turn your camera on. You can leave it off like John does, but so people can hear. We'll get
For
you to.
people like me who are really cheap, there is a YouTube video that you can listen to the audiobook. So if you have CarPlay, you can download, I think it's called Brave.
Yeah, you can
And
get. I mean, there's places that
it'll strip the audio from a YouTube video, and then you can listen it to your car or whatever.
most
Yeah,
of these books are on YouTube in the audio form.
There's a way to do this without costing you any money. So, you know, if you're struggling with it, you know, don't be afraid to ask, shoot messages. You know,
I just spend a lot of time in my car, and if I can get an audio version to listen to in the car, that'll be better for me. So
I used to listen to Zig Ziglar. I drove 20 minutes every day to work and from work, and I was in sales. I would listen to Zig Ziglar for the 20-minute ride into work. It prepared my mind to go to work and sell.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is well worth doing the Thursday.
Well, you have to understand that old keys do not open new locks.
All right, Trina, great. Then don't mind the camera. Then wonderful. I put your name on my list. Your name is on beside the Profit First book, so I won't forget.
Yeah, you have to. 2024 is going to play out interesting. I thought being in business in 2008 was a challenge. I thought the pandemic was a challenge. I have a strange feeling 2024 is going to bring things that we've never seen before.
I 100% agree, and I think that I don't think we can even imagine what's going to happen yet until it happens. The craziness is coming
because they have propped this society up so far. And because not all of us have CFOs. Trust me, I don't want my CFO. He costs me a fortune. He tells me I can't spend money.
And the one thing I would tell you too, John, is if we're not thinking different, if we're not laser focused on what we're doing, the distractions are going to be great. They are the forces that control everything are very good at causing chaos to distract you from here, from there, and you know, a lot of times we think, you know, this is happening. So what are they trying to hide from us? And all the time you're figuring this out, you're not spending time on your business. You're so distracted from what's going on that they're trying to hide everything from you that the time you lose. So
I'll have a new camera by the time we start the books. After the show, I'll go order one.
So is it the internet or is it the camera, the disconnection?
It's the camera. The camera keeps shutting down. It's saying it's disconnected from the server, and it disconnects from my computer, and it kicks me out because it doesn't kick me out of StreamYard. It just kicks me out off the show.
Right.
And what I did was I tried to go cheap with a camera microphone combination because I don't do a lot of Zoom meetings anymore. And space.
Bonafide. He hasn't lost his head. That's Bigfoot giving him a hug.
I used to be able to get it to go away. Now I don't know.
That's he's getting a Bigfoot hug. Showing some love from there you go.
First time I got my piano.
That actually came out. That looked pretty good.
Freaking Bigfoot's not real.
Maybe we'll pick out a book that's about piano lessons just for Tom.
There you go.
Oh man, we were on time yesterday.
Poor Tom.
I missed it.
Anybody going shopping on Black Friday to resell, be very careful. I've seen a lot of people getting hurt more and more as time has gone by. They dig up some of these old videos of you and me, Scott, out there in Walgreens and 36 hours straight shopping, 11 carts. I remember 11 carts at Walgreens one time, and the district manager helped me take them out to the car. It's not like that anymore. You got to be very careful of what you're buying for Black Friday to sell for Christmas.
Correct, and you also need to be very, the advice I would give people is to buy products, more everyday use products that are on sale at great deals that everybody's ignoring.
A bolo is Christmas lights, but not for Christmas.
This is what I tell you: get advantage of your. So last night, that's Joni before she was surgery. I told Joni was like, yeah, that's how far we've come.
Yeah, I remember those.
A couple of those pictures show up as a reminder. But she's got a ponytail palm that lives outside except for a few months of the year down here. And it went down to almost freezing last night. And she's like, at midnight last night, we need to get Mildred in. That's the name of the plant. And I'm like, I'm not going out there now, but I'll do it in the morning. And I'm like, I told the phone, hey, remind me at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning to bring in Mildred. I done forgot about Mildred.
Well, you better go out and get Mildred then.
It got down there close to freezing here last night, too. It got to 64.
I live in Ohio, so.
Did it get above freezing?
It was actually in the 40s yesterday. It was cold and wet, but.
40 what?
42, I think, is what it cut up to.
Get the.
Hey, you're from New Jersey. You understand.
I'm cold at 80 degrees now, guys. I am in a flannel shirt at 80 degrees.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, Veronica, that's not a bad idea. That's wildly popular right now as prepping items. There's a large segment of people that believe that,
and there always will be.
The war is coming, and they're going to attack power grids and all. If you listen to the voices on that do a lot of that stuff, the nice thing about that stuff, most of it has long expiration dates too. So
whether or not any of that's true, and you need to prep, is beyond scope of discussion. You sell to those people because they will buy it, and they will buy it for the rest of eternity.
So Kent wants me. I don't know if I have it on this phone, Kent. Hold on, I'll find out. Do I have what?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh yeah, I do have it on here.
What the fuck am I supposed to say about days like today? It's fucking decent outside.
There you go. That's just for you, Kent.
All that negativity.
That's pretty much the way I feel about 45 degrees.
Is that what it is there? Holy shit.
Yeah, it was 34 this morning when I got up.
Oh no. I think about 3 days a year it'll get to 45 here.
I miss her. I wonder if she's got a.
I finally deleted her from my phone. I don't use the weather app that often, but
I use a lot more widgets than I ever did before. I wonder if there's a WTF widget.
I look out the window, and if it's snowing, I'm going to stay home. Snowing bad. When I say snowing, I mean 12 inches.
How come nobody's shopping today?
Under 12 inches. Yeah.
Well, Walmart's closed in order to allow their one employee to spend.
Oh, speaking of that, did everybody see my post?
By the way, none of that's true. No.
The one person who's running the whole checkout system. Steve, you're in Walmart. When is the employee Christmas party? For the self-checkout employees.
7 p.m. Look at my Facebook page. There's an actual group on Facebook for the Christmas party on December 9th at 7 p.m. and it asks if you're going.
I'm going. So at my Walmarts, and there's 4 of them in my region. There's 5 if you count.
What the fuck am I supposed to say about?
All right, so it does
There's
have
a lot of employees that stand around up front to help people with the self checkout. So the
there you go.
jobs that were lost to self checkout were gained by the people who push the blue carts around and by the people who help the elderly try to figure out self checkout. There's a lot of them up there, and because I'm in there every day, I start to learn, their names and their families and things like that.
Can I just say, before you started doing that, you used to be a lot more fun.
Me?
You're spoiling mine and John's jokes. You used to be a lot more fun. You've taken Walmart way too serious.
Kick his ass off.
I'm just saying that they did. We said it before in the show, way before, that they didn't lose any jobs. They gained them in other areas of the store. I mean, it's
listen. You have to understand. Walmart is looking to copy a defunct electronics store.
Fry's.
They want to be Circuit City.
Oh, Circuit City.
That is their goal. Products you need to pick up for like milk, eggs, and all that, they're going to have a little section that's like a 7-Eleven where you can grab and go. But your other products, they're turning to a warehouse model. They haven't gone full warehouse, so they have retail customers, and then they have their wholesale, the warehouse pickers running around the same aisles. But eventually, retail customers won't be on those aisles.
There will be 2 separate portions in the store, is what they're trying to do. Every Walmart they want to make into a warehouse, a store.
And it'll be a very small store section. It'll be
anybody who was late coming in, we're going to do a reseller book club. We're going to just one book a month. Profit First is the first book. If you've got any suggestions, put them in the chat. I've got a list running. Or if you think of something, you can shoot me a message on Facebook Messenger or my email. It's in the description. Instagram. I actually get notifications on Instagram, so I actually read. I'm much better about Instagram than I ever used to be. So
let's clarify which Profit First book we're going to read. We're going to read Profit First and not Profit First for e-commerce.
There's a bunch of them I noticed. Profit First for real estate, for contractors, for all sorts of things.
Profit First was written by the original author. The Profit First for e-commerce, I believe, was written by somebody who resells, but has modified the system for e-commerce.
So is Profit First, is it by Mike Munchausen?
Yes. I suggest we read the one by the author so that we can adapt it the way we see fit.
The original one by Mike Munchausen.
Yeah.
I hope I said his name right.
Trina says, agreed, do the OG version.
All right, we'll do eBay.
For those at Thrift, keep an eye out for it because it is a popular book.
Folks, this is not. You can get it on eBay, brand new, $11.30. This isn't
a huge. These books aren't huge investments. I think the most expensive one is probably like $24.
I mean, even if they were $20 a month and you spent less than $250 to improve yours and read 12 improvement books and business focus, I can promise you it's the best education for $240 you're going to get next year. Yes, Bigfoot is currently munching on Steve there, Harlan. Earlier, he was giving him a hug, but now we think he is consumed him.
The turkey pecked the shit out of him.
Because I really want this channel. I really want. That's why I like Wednesdays, even though, I would like for more people to watch it because I would think that the information is there, is to be where information people can come to get that they. It's just not the ordinary. I'm gonna make some videos over the winter and stuff about finding stuff, and I'll continue to make shorts about what I found. I'm gonna make a short right after the show about finding the coffee maker and what it is.
I suggest you put a link to the book that we're going to read in all the shows.
All right, that's a great idea.
and take the commission. Screw that. I mean, we're putting effort into it. If they have a problem by clicking on your link to give you a couple of pennies, that's on them.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you this wild and crazy idea. Every book you buy, you can just resell. Okay, so if you've only sold it for like $7 or $8, that brings your cost down. Or how about this? It's another wild and crazy idea. For every, and this is maybe we make a commitment, but for every book that you buy next year and you read through and we go through, pay it forward. Give that to someone else who is not reading with the group, and someone that you would like to see their success, and that someone that and do some time to invest in someone else. There's the one thing I love about reselling. How can you tell people about what you do? There's so much room out here in reselling. Most of these businesses, whether you're making YouTube videos or whether you're reselling, whatever, there is room for everybody for the most part.
One thing I can promise you is if you read 12 books next year, you will improve your business by double what you pay for those books.
So Carlos, what we're going to do is I've got a list of 7 books so far, and I'll continue to make lists. Next few Wednesdays we'll get suggestions to add books to the list, and we're gonna. I'll pick a night of the week each month, and we'll discuss what we've learned. And Profit First by Mike, whatever his name is the first one. So read it during December. In early January, we'll come up with a book club time to. Brenda, thank you for the super chat. What am I having for dinner today? I think Joni is cooking chicken. We already have dressing. I think she's cooking chicken and something else. I don't know.
There's an address. There's an email address in that book, and the guy is very open. I will reach out to him and see if I can get him on the show. And tell him we're doing a book club and see if we can get him on, if we can get the actual author onto the show for the first show.
That would be a little crazy.
Well, we had Chris Green when he brought out retail arbitrage. Remember that?
I do not.
Online? No, it wasn't retail arbitrage. It was online arbitrage he came out with. And he was on the Wake Up show. Remember that, Scott?
Oh, yeah.
And he sold $1 million worth of that book.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah, he showed the check. He got 400 and some thousand.
Very nice. All right. So
that series made him a millionaire.
I wish I knew how to write.
AI.
Yes and no, but yes, I think AI could help me. I don't put sentences together correctly. I'm never good at English.
There's a great Facebook group called AI for Authors.
What I would use AI for would be an assist to make it sound better. The thoughts would be my own, but run it through AI to the sentence structure better, make the sentence structure better and stuff. And I'm sure that's what most of those authors are doing.
Well, I'll reach out to them and send them an email and ask.
All right, there is an Amazon link in the description.
There you go. I'm actually going to buy the hard copy so I can highlight it and stuff.
I am just going to listen to the audiobook version just because I'm in the car so much. But when I get back into full-time reselling, if I do all this now, it'll prepare me for being a better business person, I think. I think
it'll change the way you think, Steve, and speed your progress back to what you want to do.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I think it'll change the way you think, and it'll let you know what you already know, that you need to be following your passion. Getting by.
Have you been to your wife's honey hole?
Well, not recently, no.
How's she
It's been
doing
a
with
good. She's probably almost out of them,
that? Okay.
but because we're working every day, we just haven't made the trip. You know,
Yeah, I know.
when we understand, right now we're not sure of our footing financially, so we want to keep working
You're right.
what we know
You're
is
doing.
working.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, you're doing the right thing. You're worried about making sure that you get what you need done. I
Yeah.
respect you
One,
for that.
once we get that, work through that, we'll know better after tax time. This is our first year doing this, and the mileage deductions and all the deductions that we can take, we don't know. So we save 20% out of every day's pay, and it goes into a savings account that we don't touch, and that is for taxes and stuff like that.
All right, Johnny's
So
calling. Give me one
what we're
second.
believing is that after
Oh, shit.
after taxes are done, we should have some bank, and then we can use that to pay down some bills. And so hopefully we'll be on better footing, in February-ish. Hopefully we can do better, but we're not sure yet. I mean, and once we get there, we get there. So if I listen to all these books now, maybe that'll, prepare us to do better when we go back. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I'm here. If you need anything, reach out.
We're not suffering anymore. I mean, we're not where we were.
I know.
When you guys all helped us out, we were in a bind, and we didn't. We were even considering selling the house and everything. We're not there now. Our bills are all paid. We're stable, so things have totally changed as far as where we were to where we are. But we're still working probably harder than we need to. But we want to be sure that things stay the same, or get better. That's all.
Well, here's what I got to say about today. Merry Thanksgiving. Like hello and good night. I got to get out of here because I got rolls rising and I need to knock them down and let them rise a second time before I bake them off for dinner. Sue, happy Thanksgiving. I'm so glad to see you. Beard, I'll talk to you, dude.
He
Let
can't
me
hear
know.
you. He's out chasing Mildred.
Yeah, when you the next time you talk to him, if it's before me, tell him to give me a date and I'll see what I can do with the offer. See if we can get him on for the first show.
No, I think it's a
All right,
phenomenal
guys.
idea, and I'm glad you guys came up with it.
You guys
I don't
have a
even know who
great
came
day.
up with
I'm
it.
out.
See
Steve,
you,
happy
John.
Thanksgiving, dude. Enjoy your
Same to you,
turkey.
man. Gobble
All
gobble.
right. Later.
Do I got to carry the show till Scott gets back? Oh God,
I'm still here. I just
you've been
ordered
so
the
quiet.
book.
I found it on YouTube, so I'll just strip the audio from that. But I'm cheap.
Steve, do not crash the show, Steve.
Voice from beyond. Did you chase Mildred and did you catch her?
She
It sounded like the outer
Oh, I
limits
thought
voice.
I thought your wife was out there. Hey, you set the alarm for 10.
sausage balls.
Sausage balls. What are sausage balls? Balls of sausage, I know, but are they like breaded or something?
Yeah, with sausage, hot sausage, cheese, and something.
I would regular sausage, but
No, yeah,
John Jones wants to know if I've had any time for the Glow Forge with Christmas coming. I've made these little earrings. I don't know where they're at. I've only actually have one product for sale on Etsy right now, and it's these little. I don't think you can see them. They're fragile box earrings.
Tracy, I told you I'm paused until Sunday, Saturday or Sunday.
But nobody's buying them, so yeah. I just haven't had the time with the Glow Forge this season. I wish I had. That's Italian, yes. Fragile.
There you go, Carlos.
It's because the video's still live. You won't see the description until after the video goes.
I went to YouTube and added them.
I don't think you'll see it until after, though.
Don't know. Yeah, but I think it's a
I
great.
can look.
Any other ideas anybody has, I know I'm willing to do, because that's the one thing that keeps. I'm trying to keep the show interesting and keep Wednesdays interesting. That's why I'm excited to have my friends on next week. And the hardest thing about doing it, I don't know how Josh does it every day. Coming up with topics and what to talk about. It's tough, and because I learn for these shows every week. Interacting with you guys are absolutely awesome. And hanging out with Harlan too. Harlan listens to a ton of motivation, and I need to get better at that. Especially as much time as I spend out here by myself. But I have enjoyed listening to about aliens this week.
Aliens. Now you got my attention.
Yeah. A couple episodes ago, Rogan had Beyond, the guy who does Beyond the Impossible podcast. It's been pretty interesting.
I've been listening to a lot of the JFK since it's the 60th anniversary of the JFK assassination. I've been listening to a lot of that. And there's some new information.
The CIA
new information coming out. Well, I don't know, but there is some new information coming out, and it's not good. Paramount Plus has what the doctors saw. All the doctors at Parkland Hospital, and it was pretty interesting that every single one of them say that there was an entrance wound from the front and an exit wound in the back, and then the autopsy photos showed totally the opposite. So yeah, now that stuff's not new information, but to have all the doctors in agreement and in the same room talking about the same thing was pretty crazy.
Hey, Aretha Franklin, good morning. So Kent Dale, that you would need to change the title of Harlan's new book. It would be The Second Coming of the Immaculate, because Harlan's had a not hysterectomy, but a vasectomy. So there you go. He put an end to all that.
Trina says that, I don't know who PF is or what PF is, but says save 15% for taxes. So we're already ahead of the game. Part of that 20% that we save every day is in case we have a snow day or something of that nature. Because, I live in Ohio and we get lake effect snow because I'm right up on Lake Erie, and there could be days that we can't work. There could be a week that we can't work. So saving a little extra will help with that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, absolutely.
And I'm going to start doing the same thing when I become full-time reseller again. We always had issues saving money for taxes. In fact, for last year's taxes, I had to make a deal with the IRS that now I'm making payments on it. I don't want to do that again. So when we start reselling full-time again, or whatever it is we do, then it is a good idea to you're supposed to anyway. You're supposed to put that money aside.
Are you shipping Big Turkey?
No, I'm sitting here.
It looks like a package of marijuana, like you see.
It does. Looks like a kilo of marijuana, doesn't it?
That's what it looks like.
Now these are duffel bags. I had about 8 of them.
Right.
So I just prep them for shipping while I'm sitting here. I haven't sold them yet, but I get.
Larry says the forecast is for less snow for us this year. Larry's from around here too.
I get a lot of military surplus.
That may be the case, but we live on Lake Erie, where lake effect snow is pretty unpredictable.
So Big Turkey there is wrapping up military surplus stuff, and he just said he gets a lot of military surplus. So how does that affect you in the chat? 79 people. How does that affect you? He is very good at what's available in his area. Learning to sell what's available in your area is a tremendous. Once you master that part, where you understand what's in your area, and you're very good at selling what's in your area because, folks, I forget how many times on average person will move, but it's a huge number, and it's that number is just continuing to rise because the younger generations have no affinity for setting down roots. They are about experiences. They're about chasing, the next adventure, or whatever. And so they go different places like everybody else more frequently, and they find stuff they like in different areas. You'll be amazed how crazy popular food items are locally to you because people have moved.
We have some food items around here that are very popular, but they're all stuff that we required shipping in dry ice or something. Like Smith's hot dogs. I'm sure you're not familiar, but if you ever come back here, you got to have a Smith's hot dog. They're natural casing. Oh, they're so good. But those are the kinds of things that are local to this area, but food wise. But there's also other things that are local to this area that other people wouldn't have.
Larry, are you in a boat right now? You said you're on lake area. Are you watching from a
He
boat?
lives, I think he doesn't live too far from me. He's over on the Pennsylvania side, of course, but
And by your area, it could be, I mean, however far you want to travel in your area. If you say, "Hey, Beard, I'm willing to drive 100 miles," I'm like, "Okay, that's great. That's a 100-mile circle." Because remember, if you're willing to go 100 miles north, 100 miles south, unless you live like Steve does, and going north means you're invading Canada.
which is also a thing. I mean, I could go up and do some sourcing up there if I wanted.
If I lived where Steve did, lived on the Canadian border, and there are plenty of Canadian products that are popular, I would be buying stuff from up there and reselling it in the States.
I'm about a half mile from the lake. No, not even, probably a little less than half mile. But anyway, for me to get to Canada, I have to go all the way up through Buffalo, but it's still only a 2-hour trip. It's not that bad.
If I lived on the Mexican border, I would go into Mexico, buy stuff, and I'd be an expert and that kind of
I
stuff.
had a frenemy. We'll call him a frenemy. Back in the Bigfoot days, he pulled off this big Bigfoot hoax. Anyway, we won't go. But he was importing Volkswagens from Mexico into the U.S. Now,
Yep.
whether he was doing it legal or not, I don't know. But that's what he was doing, and there's some big money in that kind of thing.
So Bob, I'm still half doing stuff. So like now, you notice it's after 10 o'clock now, so I'm still not eating before 10. I'm still not eating after 6. So today is the exception. Like last couple of days, I've had keto breakfast and then just a normal sized dinner with whatever Johnny made. It's because she's had chicken and dumplings last 2 nights, and then I'll eat leftovers tomorrow, and then Saturday go back to full keto.
Yeah, I guarantee just about everybody has military surplus within reach.
Yeah, because there's a military base everywhere.
Just sold this during the show. It's a balaclava kind of a helmet liner.
I could probably go down to Youngstown. There's space there.
It's a good thing Tom's not on the show because you'd have to explain how you got that person to sit so still when you took the picture.
By playing gentle piano music in the background. I think that's how he did it. Profit first is PF. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, and nearly every, there's good things about military surplus. It doesn't break when you ship it. It's most of it's made in the USA. Lots of good things about military surplus.
Phoebe, you cannot have any of my breakfast.
I got this. Bought some military wool blankets. This one was made in 1952.
It looks very warm.
I don't know if you can read the tag. Everything military surplus is labeled, so it's easy to look up. It's got a label. 1952 tells you exactly what it is. Got the national stock number on it.
That's the one good thing about military items. They're labeled very well. So looking them up should not be an issue generally.
Yeah, unless the soldier took the label off, it's
right.
Easy to look up.
PB, you can't have this. It's too hot. RG there. The Miracle Store is closed. Just take your beating like it's coming and move on. I'm looking forward after the Auburn game to hearing Jalen Milroe talking to what's her name saying Roll Tide again. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's all gone, Phoebe. You're the most worrisome person on the planet, Phoebe. Until I throw the plate away, she will not give up. She thinks there's something on the plate, in the plate, until I actually physically throw it away. Then she gives up.
My cat is similar to that. He'll sit here and look at me while I'm eating. Sometimes he'll even jump in my lap until I put that plate. It doesn't matter if there's anything on the plate or not. I got to put the plate down on the floor so he can sniff it and lick it.
I have to throw it away or take it to the sink, and then Phoebe gives up. She just left. Yeah, so here's a good question. We're going to end here in a few minutes. So yesterday when I got the call, I knew there was an item that I could sell for $200 or for $15. So I knew the profit to drive 45 minutes. I knew the profit minimum. I had $150 profit in one item. And then he showed me the dual player, which if it works, I tested today, it's another $60 or $70 of profit. What's enough money to get you to Iraq to go spend 3 to 4 hours? Excuse me, this thing is killing me. To chase after something. Do you have? Because my thinking was that's probably borderline, but my thinking is if this store has got this, they've got other things that my friend doesn't know that I look for. And so it turned out they had another coffee maker. It was $10. I think it's worth 110. It's a Braun coffee maker new in the box, but the box is not perfect. And I picked up a Blu-ray that was $1 that I'll get $19 for on Amazon. I stopped at a hardware store and picked up a couple items that were $6 each that are on Amazon for $54 each. So that's you're gonna throw another 90 in. And then I stopped at the Goodwill also, and I picked up a Sultan Jewelry Spa for $12. And they sell used 65 or 60. I don't think this has been used because the stuff in the top of it is still like it came. And then I don't know how you put a value on this. I stopped on the way back to visit friends at their warehouse. And so just from that visit, she's going to come on and talk to you guys Wednesday. And I spent 45 minutes talking to them about reselling business. And so how do you put a profit on all of that, and what's enough to get you to run out? When I got the call, I think I hung up the chat and just left.
It doesn't take me much when I'm, actually reselling to go out. It doesn't take much profit just to get me out. I enjoy the hunt, so. Okay,
so many people are going to say, "Oh my God, what about the gas?" I didn't factor in the fact that gas is I got gas in the town that I went to at Walmart with my 5 cents on Walmart Plus. Remember, folks, take advantage of Walmart Plus. You get 5 cents off a gallon of gas. It was $2.61 a gallon for gas. $2.61 a gallon.
Nice. We're at $2.89 in Ohio. It's $3.60 something in PA still, but we don't have Walmart gas stations.
So Larry said $30 per hour profit is his baseline, so that I achieved that. So I left here. So I needed to do some shipping. So I left here at 11 o'clock. I got back home at 2:15. So it's 3 hours. I got all my shipping done, no problem. I got everything, so I knew I had time, and it's $500 or $600 in profit. Scott Condon doesn't make anything because of gas.
Not even a dime.
What gas are we talking about, Scott? Are we talking about gas that goes in your car or gas that puts you out in the woods because you just ate something wrong? Aha. That's a good one.
Your miles are a write-off. I mean, there should
And
never be.
I
a
never
discussion.
factor the miles in. The miles are.
Should I show how many miles I have this year? No,
Sure.
it's not for reselling. Where is it?
Larry, I thought it was, and it's also stuff that.
Oh, I got to get rid of the background again. I don't like their backgrounds the way they do them. $21,110 worth of miles so far. That's just mine. I don't know how to tell how many miles that is. I'll have to figure it out. $32,386 miles this year in work related.
How many?
32,000. All right, I gotta take this real quick.
So this is the other coffee maker. It was sitting on the counter. Anything Braun is good, folks. And I looked at it and I saw the $9.99. The box is not great, but it's brand new. So you can call it new on eBay or like new on Amazon. And I'll just put on Amazon. I'll put like new. Box has some damage, but it's still never been out. Braun does stuff different. So why is this Braun popular? Anybody have any idea? The answer is in front of you if you can see it. Why is this popular? It's in front of you. I'll show you why. That's generally why this stuff is. This is actually made in Germany, German made. And if you sell some kitchen items, kitchen products made in Germany for some reason are in demand here. And that coffee maker, when I looked at the coffee maker, I knew Braun. I knew I had to look it up. When I opened it up, I saw it was new, and I saw Germany on the front. I knew that was money. I absolutely knew that was money. I don't know how to say the collective, but hey, good morning to you and happy Thanksgiving. So this one is, I didn't even look at it, I just bought it. This is the regular one. It's the MG9. It is not the DVD recorder, but that's that one. You see this Magnum Box a lot. It is very popular, and I still don't know why. And the Beast. And it is, the box is not perfect, but it is brand new in there. So speaking of Woolstoff knives, Veronica, I picked up a set of those maybe 3 weeks ago. I think on one of the shows somebody was trying to lowball me some offers. They sold fast. I broke the knives up. I paid $10 for the set, or $7.50 after my discount. I sold the set, average $30 a knife. And the only thing I've got left is the sharpener. That's the only thing I've got left. So let's see. Where's the other phone? Because that phone doesn't scan Amazon for nothing. Let's That's how much they're asking for that coffee maker on Amazon.
Cha-ching.
Can't see it.
$288.
Good God.
So what are you coming in at?
So I'll need to look at it, Keefa. I think the real price should be. I think 149 is probably something that's reasonable that will sell. I think they're about twice as much too high. It's a good example that there's only one seller.
Do you think that seller has a repricer that just shoots it up when everybody else is out of stock?
They only have 96 feedback for one thing. So they've been selling for a while, but there are a lot of people that get very disillusioned on Amazon with the fact that I've got the last one, I can get $1 million for it, and I only pay $10 for it. I'll hold it for the next 3 years. I'm not that person. I want it gone. I'll cut them in half and be happy at $150.
It'd be interesting to see if their price comes down because then you'll know they're using a repricer.
Most of the time, I don't think they do.
On one-offs like that, I probably wouldn't.
I don't know though, but here's what it's selling for on eBay. This is what I love about eBay. eBay gives you the actual price. They took a best offer at $149, but that person, it's in a blue box, but it's the same model. It's the black model versus the white model. They got $149 for the black one.
So if it's selling for $149 on eBay,
this changes my mind. This tells me I might be able to get $179, $189.
Yeah.
That's so. How do you price it? Pricing is a very Uncle Putin, man. Good morning. Hey, Rhonda. Good morning. So I would tell you, I base a lot of things on what eBay's getting. If it's a price like this. If I can see an actual sold for 150 plus shipping, so that's $165. I think there's 20% more to get from Amazon, and so I'm thinking 199 is probably where I'll put it. It's a feel, and I'll put it at 199. I'll not turn the repricer on, and then I'll revisit it this time, in 3 or 4 weeks. If it's still sitting there, because I'll see it on the shelf, I'll lower it down $10. So let's see what they're saying about. I didn't look this. So I tried looking this one up by model number or the other one, and it didn't come up. Let's see if it'll come up by barcode. No, this can opener is not on there. ODC. I mean, this coffee maker is not on.
I don't see a lot of Braun coffee makers, but I see electric razors all the time, the shavers all the time.
So I picked up an electric razor the other, I guess 3 weeks ago. It was in a thrift store for $25. I sold it for $125. They sell Braun, depending on what models they are. So there's open box. There is no listing on Amazon, so it'll go on eBay. That's exactly what I have is open box. 158 plus 24. So I'll probably match that. Maybe so maybe 165 plus the shipping. I don't know, somewhere in that range. But I'll be in the very close to the ballpark of that. But it's very touchy-feely, and you got to do some research, because I think a big weakness in reselling right now is people don't understand how to price. They price very aggressively because I'm a reseller. I can sell it high. Well, they sold there once. I will watch that, and if it doesn't sell there's not many out there. So let's see how many are out there. That's another thing too, is just because that is sold. So someone has one for 109 open box plus 52 shipping. So that puts it in the 164 range. So that's less than the other one was. And it is sponsored at the top. So automatically, how do you judge a competition? you automatically know you've got somebody who is willing to sell it less than the last sold, and they are sponsoring it. So it'll change. Other than that person, so do you sponsor this listing? In the chat, would you sponsor this listing?
I would.
I will be the second one on there today. My price will be in the ballpark. Do you sponsor when there's only two of you? It's going to come up.
Yeah, I would, because he's going to show up for you every time if you don't. We don't know what he's promoting it at either.
So Kevin Webb, that's just promoted listing. It shows up as a sponsored listing. Promoted listings show up. I'm very curious of who would promote it, who would not.
I promote everything.
See, I promote most things, and I think we're giving eBay too much money. And I'm not saying don't promote. Don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking that maybe I wait after 3 days to promote listings. I put a reminder on my phone saying, tell her to remind me in 3 days to promote the listing, and see what happens, because the newly listed bump will be enough to keep you right up there with them, maybe ahead of them.
You're right about that.
For the first 72 hours. And
I would say, how many of them are under? Just you and him, if you list it?
Me and him, that's it.
So you're above the fold either way. In other words, above where your screen shows the first picture, whether you promote it or not. So there might be, I don't know. I promote everything by default, but that's me. But if you're above the fold anyway.
Okay, so tell me if this matters to you then. eBay's suggested promoted listing is 12.5%.
If there's only two of them, I would promote it low. I guarantee your competition's only promoted at just above.
Are you willing to give up more in promoted listings than you pay for the item when there's only a competition of one?
No. I would promote it at my normal 3%.
That's if you did the 12.5, that's how much it cost you if you sold it for $165. So my question to you is this. You've got different ways to do this. I'm gonna play around with this one, and I'll let you know when it sells how it did. I'm willing to, if it's $165, that whatever, they're $163, and I know I can spend 20. So what happens if I put this at $153? Does that change it to where in the first 72 hours I have the newly listed bump? I am 10% or 6% under their price. Is that enough to make this sell first? And then are
there other models of that same thing, like similar but other models? I'm assuming there are. So
there are, but they are few and far between.
So when you're promoting, I would take that into account too, because somebody just puts in Black & Decker Space Maker coffee pot or whatever. You might have a better chance of showing up over the whole category instead of just that model number. I don't know. Everybody has their different versions of what they would and wouldn't do. Me, I promote everything, but I do a fixed rate of 3%. You promoted a dynamic promotion, and so it's a different strategy. I don't need to sell things right now. You do.
See, the one thing I can tell you is a lot of people. There's a lot of opinions on this, whether the pricing is better. And I think so. John, flipping ain't easy. His argument in the video he made a few weeks ago was, or maybe it was Josh. It was one of the two of them. Maybe it was Josh. Which one of those benefits eBay the most? And so which one would be more successful? And the promoted listings means that money goes to eBay versus me just not paying it at all. The customer saving the $10. So it's going to be very interesting. Brenda says promoted at 3%.
Yeah, I got 5.1 across the board, everything from day
Your
one.
reads are, that is normally my way of thinking. Is I promote no matter what. I just promote everything.
Yeah, it's a me thing too. Just promote because it's going to show up in other searches too sometimes.
There's nobody doing the mad science, and I think I think this is a perfect one to play around with.
I think my model is going to change when I go back to full time. I'm going to do dynamic instead of across the board, but that's because I have to earn money as a reseller. Right now, I do not, and I think dynamic promotions are better. It will get you up there more often, but with a cap.
And then my other thing is I have $15 in this. Do I mind being second? Do I care that this other person sells out and then I sell behind them, knowing that?
How often does that particular item sell?
2 have sold in the last, but that doesn't really tell you anything because
how many have been available out of the 2 that
just those.
Yeah, so it'll sell regardless if you list it at a reasonable price. So that, I mean, there's a lot of things to think of when you're deciding whether or not to promote.
Okay.
I don't think there's a generic answer like I have been doing for years. My generic answer is 3% across the board, and I don't think there should be a generic answer anymore.
Happy Turkey there are Dawn and Young Mary. See, I guess I'll keep us both right. So here's the next information. What if I told you you're not allowed to sell that? It has been recalled. What if I told you it's been recalled? Does that change your mind? The 4050 was a 2009 recall.
Well, that would change your mind because you can't resell it.
Folks, so there's a lot of lessons in this one. So I knew that this model was probably one of the recall ones because the later ones were recalled. It has a recall because of the brew basket. If you go onto the firm's website and tell them I've got one, they will send you a free replacement brew basket. And so so Nick Picker says sell it fast. You can get in trouble, but I'm telling you this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call them Friday or Monday and get them to send me a new brew basket. And then I will put it in the listing that it has been recall fixed. You're allowed to sell these coffee makers once they have been repaired from the recall. And all of a sudden, without promoting, knowing there's only 2 of them up there, and mine is the only one that's recall fixed versus his, it will sell faster.
And he has the potential to be eBay will pull that because it's a recall.
He has the potential of eBay to pull it, and I don't because mine will be recall repaired.
Unless eBay just does their blanket recalls on things, but
No, I've sold the coffee makers. I've sold the 4040, the one with the carafe versus the glass carafe versus the metal carafe. And then some of the older ones that the basket is made out of the wrong plastic, and when it gets too hot, it melts the brew basket. So they send you an updated brew basket that's made with different materials, and it doesn't melt, so people don't get burned.
Now you have to sell it as open box at that point. I would assume
it's going to be open box anyway because it's open. Yeah. Denise, that is underhanded.
I would not do that. Yeah, I would not do that.
Oh, that thought crossed my mind, Denise. You're not alone. That
for those of you who can't see the chat, Denise says report them and have it pulled so that you're the only one. But that's kind of dirty. I wouldn't do it. No, they did it. I said it as a joke. I don't think they'd actually do that either. But Larry wants to know, how do you know it's a recall?
Larry.
It's
We have
easy
gone
to
over
figure
this.
out.
We have gone over this lots, Larry. Can y'all see that? I typed in what space maker coffee makers are recalled under Google. It immediately brings back only model numbers 440, 440B, 450, and 460 are included in the recall. And then I went here to the first one, the U.S. Product Consumer Safety Commission.gov. The recall date is here on the 9th. You come down here, it tells you where they were sold. The remedy: consumers should stop using it immediately and contact for a free replacement brew basket. There's the website, and there is the phone number. And look at there. There's a picture of my model right there. So
If you ever have a question, that's all you got to do. Google is your friend.
that's it. That's as simple as it. I knew that they had been recalled, Larry, because I've sold these because I love selling these machines. I knew there was a recall on them, so, and I thought it was only the metal one, because the metal one, there was something up with the metal, but it's
The other way to find out if it's recalled or not is to list it on eBay and them tell you. That's the other way.
Oh, Larry, no problem. It's all about learning, buddy. It's a lot of it's experience, Larry. It's because when you start selling a lot of the same items and you've started checking in, because there was somebody the other day somewhere was asking my opinion about they were showing me, look, I'm going to get this coffee latte machine. It was sold at Kmart's, Cocoa Latte. And they say it's very similar to the Cocoa Motion, except there's one major difference. The Cocoa Latte's been recalled because the base is made with lead. Lead seeps into the machine.
I didn't even know that, and I've sold both types of machines.
That's another one that's pretty easy.
But now the next time I pick one up, I'll know to look.
So let's.
My mom says that the way I am.
You see this one a lot, and the more you know. So I just searched for Cocoa Latte. Everybody sees this machine a lot, right? You see that machine? You recognize it?
Absolutely.
It was Back to Basics and West Bend are the two machine people. So if you see it, that it looks like that.
I've sold that particular machine. I know I have.
It'll tell you a lot of information. The Grande one is not affected. Go away. See, independent testing. A small bushing inside the container has the potential to leach lead. There you go.
My mom says that the way I am is because when I was a child, a baby, I would eat the lead paint chips off the wall.
Folks, it'll take me a little extra time. I'll have to sit on this machine for probably 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, before I can list it for sale. But do the right thing. I have insurance for my business. I don't want to use it. I don't want to sell somebody that coffee maker because I know it's recalled and they don't. And there's a chance someone could it's going to probably go to somebody who wants to put it in an RV. So that tends to be older people with RVs a lot. I mean, I'm not just saying everybody, but tend to skew a little older. I don't want to burn somebody's grandmother. I don't want to burn someone. I don't want them to get hurt, even though the risk is very low. I feel much better in my own personal about fixing it.
My mother actually said that, by the way.
Aretha Franklin says asbestos makes the heart grow fonder. For whatever that's worth.
When I was a youth, we had this work program where I could work in the summer times, and they had me sanding down the walls in the cafeteria of the middle school, and it didn't tell me that there was asbestos in those walls. Yeah.
But remember, it's I said it earlier in the show. If you've not been watching this, go back and check it out. It's about doing the right thing when nobody else is watching. I know that it's recalled. I don't want somebody to get hurt. I also think there's a lot of value when people look in your store and they see recall repaired. it becomes someone they look at the buying decision between me and someone else, and they can trust you because they see that you're more knowledgeable than the other seller.
So
Because
recall repaired, where do you put that? In the description, in the
I put the
title?
title, description, I put it everywhere.
You should
The
also be
Brewback,
using keywords for the people who are going to buy it, like RV and stuff like that.
right? So that his listing did not have any of that in it.
Yeah.
So the keyword should be RV.
Now in the description, maybe not necessarily the title, but because you only got so many characters. But
And so how do you differentiate yourself in a search? You want the customer to feel confident. So better keywords in your title, also knowledgeable that they need to be repaired. And then I put in the description, the recall was for the brew basket. There's a picture of the replacement brew basket in a separate picture, so you can feel confident knowing you're not going to get burned by this machine. I mean, you can do a lot of things to instill confidence in your buyer and differentiate yourself between the other guy.
Brenda, as far as my mother's parenting skills, she was phenomenal for a 70s parent. However, that was when I was at my grandparents' house. So when my grandparents were watching me. They're both dead now, so maybe from the paint chips, I don't know.
Craig, how goes Birmingham today?
There were so many different parenting skills in the 70s than there are today. It was a whole different era. We allowed our children to eat paint chips in the 70s.
And so I don't check everything because a lot of things don't get recalled. A lot of electronics just don't get recalled. Keywords fix probably won't kill you. Look, that's nice right there. But anything to do with food,
copy and paste that right now.
It's worth understanding. Just because they use Amazon FBA, Amazon will strike it through Uncle Putin. It's very disturbing. I almost feel more comfortable buying from FBM because you're getting truer feedback.
Brenda, she wasn't joking. She actually believes that I ate paint chips when I was a child. So the room that I was in, had this flaky paint on the wall, and I would just sit there and peel it off from the crib. And she thinks I ate some. She wasn't joking.
Babe King, that's perfect. That's exactly but I'll add RV, a few other things because just think about where these things are used. Look at all the van life and all these kind of things. That's where these coffee makers are going. That's why they're. Have you ever gone to the RV section of Walmart? Anybody in the chat ever gone to the RV section of Walmart? Things are much more expensive for RVs. And so that's why part of the reason this thing is so much more expensive than a regular coffee maker. You could get a 12 cup brew coffee maker at Walmart for $30 or $40, but why are they wanting this? They are used to paying higher prices for RVs, and they need something that mounts off the counter because they don't have any counter space. And so they're looking for this specific model or
RV toilet paper. It's the same. Well, it's not necessarily the same stuff, but
it breaks down. It breaks down
differently. But back during the COVID days, when you couldn't find toilet paper, you go back in the RV section, and there's still RV toilet paper back there. Yes, it does.
Yeah,
I know people really think that I'm making jokes about this. My mother really said it, and she really believed it, and it was probably true. I probably did. I don't know.
But yeah, so that's a good thing. If toilet paper ever goes short again,
it was the 70s.
The RV section is the last.
And I learned that from John because John has an RV. Yep.
Somebody's dog's barking in the neighborhood. Do you think they're calling the animal control?
We have a guy across the street. Now, nobody cares about the dogs because most of the dogs in this neighborhood don't bark that much. But he plays his music on Friday and Saturday nights till 3, 4, 5 in the morning. And it's thump, thump. I don't know what he's playing. It must be rock and roll. And there's an old couple that lives right next door to him. I can't imagine they get much sleep. Marcia has called the police on him once because it just got. And they showed up, and he quit for months. Now he's doing it again, and she noticed the police were over there again. about 4 a.m. one day. Yeah.
Did it slow him down again?
I haven't heard it in a few weeks, so yeah, probably did. But it's
All right,
only
so
on the
everybody,
weekends.
everybody who was late, there's a in the link below, and there'll be a link to the book, or find it wherever. Profit First, Michael, or
Somebody.
sorry, damn it,
Michael somebody.
Mike Michalowicz,
Michael M.
Yes, we're going to start a reseller book club for next year. So grab that book, pick it up, and read it. I want this just a different idea. We actually just came up with it spontaneously on the.
Bob, you may be onto something there.
So that's all you. That's all you've missed. Other than that, and me and Steve and John carrying on. I'm about to shut her down, and I was going to list the space maker, but I am going to list the
do
maker
some
instead.
turkey based in time.
I got to test this guy to see if it works. Y'all think it works? Yes or no?
50-50 on those, man. What brand is it? Magnavox?
Magnavox. Made by it's the same one as it's a Funai. Funai makes them all.
Right. I have about 50-50 luck on those things sometimes. The VCR side is generally the harder part to get working.
The last two that I've thrown away, the DVD player didn't work.
I've had the DVD player not work, and that's usually a laser issue.
Yeah,
I don't know how to fix that. I'm sure there's a way to fix it, and I'm sure it's not. You could probably buy a new laser on eBay for $6 or $8, but
the investment of time is not worth it. So
it depends on how much that particular model goes for. If it's a $150 model and I could fix it for $6 or $8 with a half an hour worth of work, I would do it.
If the VCR eats tapes, clean the rotary switch. All right, Scott, the next one that eats tapes, I will call you and you can explain to me how to do this. Because it'd be a shame if Toolzine would make a video showing us how to do it.
I have sold repaired VCRs in the past. Usually it's an easy fix. Not always, but usually.
The rotary switch. Porcelain Princess, not bad for a Thanksgiving. Very blessed.
Gonna have some turkey. That's all I care about. It's a great thing when you can eat turkey. I can eat turkey every day. I do turkey sandwiches. But
I don't know where we're eating. Our plans fell through. So our friends have COVID. So,
well, why don't you just come up to the other Steve and Marcia's house? We got 23-pound bird in the oven. I'll see you in a couple hours.
Yeah, I'm out on that one.
Oh, damn. Can't say I didn't try. I invited you. Whatever.
Right on. Well, hope everyone has a good turkey day. I'm going to get ready and start listing so I can turn on a football game out here. Craig said nothing to eat in Birmingham. Damn it. Johnny's cooking some kind of chicken. I don't know.
Close enough to turkey.
Yeah, they both have wings. Same.
Both poultry.
Head south to college. It's time. Everybody, hey, thanks for joining us. I hope your day is wonderful. Remember, don't take it for granted. Be thankful for all you have in life. Roll Tide.
Sweetwater out.